and agroenvironmental and Agroenvironmental Education and Farmers Welfare Society aims at enhancing the livelihood opportunities for more than 1 million farm households in the country. These both are amongst the largest wide networks of agriculture and allied sector professionals in the country right now. Now, coming to this session, today I feel privileged to welcome and thank Dr. Nazir Ahmed Ganai, Vice Chancellor, Quest Kashmir, Organizing Director of this program, Dr. DPS Badwal Sir, Course Director of this training program, Dr. Mohit Bharadwaj Sir, members of the organizing committee, and most importantly, the attendees of this session. Now, I warmly welcome our chief guest of this session, Professor B.S. Mahapatra, sir. Before inviting sir for the talk, I would like to give a brief introduction of him. Dr. Mahapatra started his career as junior agronomist at RRS Jhargram, Vidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya in 1985 and subsequently joined GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology in 1985 as an assistant professor, then associate professor in 1998 and professor in 2002. He also served as a director of Central Research Institute of Jute and Allied Fibers, ICR Barakpur, from 2008 to 2013. He has been presently working as the Vice Chancellor of Vidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya Mohanpur, Nadia, West Bengal, and also got elected as the President of Indian Society of Agronomy, New Delhi. His awards and honors include Fellow and recipient of Gold Medal of Indian Society of Agronomy, a recipient of prestigious Commonwealth Rutherford Fellowship of United Kingdom, Honorary Fellowship Award by the Society for Recent Development in Agriculture in 2011. His other experiences include Co-Chairman of Life Science Research Board, DRDO, Ministry of Defense, Government of India since 2014, served as a Member Secretary, Expert Panel for Organic Farming, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, Government of India 2005, Member of Uttarakhand Organic Act 2018, Member of Research Advisory Committee of ICR SBI, that is Sugar Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, ICR DRMR, Bharatpur, ICR IIWBR, Karnal, and ICR VPKS, Almora. Member of the Research Council as an ICR nominee of Uttar Banga Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Cooch Behar, West Bengal during 2011 to 2013. Member of Executive Council of Vidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Mohanpur, West Bengal during 2010 and 13. Member Research Advisory Committee of ICR NEH, Barapani from 2020 to 2023. Associate Editor-in-Chief of Indian Journal of Agronomy from 2015 to 2016. Member of the Editorial Board, Indian Journal of Agronomy from 2007-8 and 2010-14. Chairman of International Conference of KENAF on KENAF and Allied Fibers 2009, ICKF 2009, Malaysia. Organizing Secretary, National Agronomic Congress 2018. He was felicitated by SARC Agriculture Center, Dhaka, Bangladesh in 2010. He delivered an invited lead speech at Bangladesh Society of Agronomy, Dhaka, Bangladesh in 2010. Third International Agronomy Congress, New Delhi in 2016, and National Agronomy Congress, Pantnagar in 2018. Dr. Mahapatra handled 14 projects as principal investigator funded by RRI Philippines, ICR, Government of India, DAC, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, National Medicinal Plants Board, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, FCI, RKVY, Upkar Lucknow, UP Ministry of Textiles, Government of India, Cyrus Minerals, United Kingdom, etc. He brought many external funded projects from DST, DBT, NFB, SFARA, JCI, DSR, RKVY, Government of West Bengal, etc. of about rupees 35 crores to ICR CRI JF as director. He developed and commercialized 15 management technologies of different crops for the farmers. He was associated with the development of 17 varieties of jute and allied fibers. Nation's first ever green manuring Sesbania variety, Pant Ses 1, was developed under his leadership. He obtained first patent, nail weeder, and filed two patents, one trademark, CRIJF seed. Dr. Mahapatra has more than 150 research papers in high impact international and national journals, 15 review papers, 30 popular articles, 2 books, 25 technical bulletins, and 15 book chapters. His contributions are not ending. So now I would like to call Dr. B.S. Mahapatra sir to deliver his talk. Please, sir. Sir, kindly unmute yourself, please.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Thank you very much for introducing me, because I was there in your program earlier also. And thanks to Shukast Srinagar for giving me an opportunity to share platform with you, because Najib is another vice chancellor in our system, and we have introduced recently. Now, as a matter of fact, I don't have any formal presentation. Why? I am born and brought up in West Bengal, but all through my life, I have worked at Uttarakhand. Around 42 years I was there, starting from 1979 till 2020. And I have worked under temperate climate in Uttarakhand hills, in the Tarai plains of western northwest India, and coming down to various programs and projects in the eastern part of UP, then going into Bihar, then coming into West Bengal. And I belong to Purulia, one of the drier tract of West Bengal in the South Bengal, which is a dry tract. And again, I am working in the coastal regions of Bay of Bengal here. So being well versed with the agroclimatic situation of the country, and most probably I'm a scientist who have traveled on road starting from Bay of Bengal to Srinagar, and understood the demography and the geography of the country, and how the crops differs and crop geography differs and crop adaptation and distribution differs. And during our prime days, when we were 12, 15, 16-year-old, then these revolution in the agricultural system came into existence. And I still believe, and those things are on my eyes. The first FLDs, which are conducted on Sonalika variety of rice, wheat, on our fields, in my village in Purulia, and those still they are in existence on my eyes. And the way it went on, and the country is now producing more than 110 million tons of wheat. The food grain production in your early 50s was hardly 50 million tons. We have achieved around 330 plus million tons. So that I have experienced all through my development stages of life. And though I have formally superannuated from Pantnagar by virtue of my attaining the age of 65, but still I am continuing as vice chancellor here, maybe for some more time. But the present thing that clicks me, India as a country where agriculture happened to be the most prominent amongst the rural population, they have suffered hugely. Though the food grain production, the vegetable production, the meat production, the milk production, the egg production, everything has gone tremendously. And that is the hard work they have paid all through, giving all their sweat. But the farmers are not happy. That is the realization at the end of the day, what we can do for the maximization of the benefits of the farmers. And today, just when we talk about Punjab rice and wheat, and we talk about West Bengal rice and wheat, West Bengal is the major rice growing, the first ranking rice growing state in the country. However, if we compare with the northwest part of the country and Punjab with respect to total productivity, yield per unit area, we find West Bengal does not stand in front of Punjab. So where is the gap and what is the gap? And that needs to bring into the mind of the farmers of the West Bengal. At the same time, West Bengal stands second in potato production after UP, where the area is much more under UP than West Bengal. So what is the gap and where from the benefits can be brought? And one thing, what clicked my mind, that till date, though we find many advanced agricultural machinery, those are going into the fields of the northwest part of the country, the Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, even these days till Lucknow and down. But agricultural mechanization is yet to be perfected to bring more value to production and bringing up the economics of the farmer. That is one of the area where we are lacking tremendously, though many state agriculture universities, they do have the agriculture engineering faculties, the students are coming out, but keeping the vast country into consideration, their involvement is very, very important to increase the farmers' income. Now, when we go through the whole geography and demography of the country, including South and Deccan Plateaus and Central India, sometimes our policy planners, they're forgetting the basic fundamentals of crop adaptation and distribution and crop geography and their territory and boundaries. That we need to keep into mind. See what happened to cotton in Punjab, the white fly problem. And the rice in Punjab, though Punjab has got a minimum support price for rice, but where we have taken our natural resources. And that's why what is happening, the geographical distribution and adaptation, we may be excess in rice or wheat, but we are falling shortfall in pulses and oil seeds. So many times what is happening, those areas are being occupied by the cereals, just only to fulfill the requirement of the minimum support price as offered by the government. So huge intervention is required, and precision agriculture, farm mechanization, and more crop per drop, that is very important. We need to increase the water productivity, because majority of the water is being used in agricultural purposes, and that need to be further decreasing with time. That is decreasing in time with time. So we need to have alternatives to have our farm process and production to the extent possible, because anything those are involved with production and productivity, they consume energy and they consume money. So that they're the constraints with the farmers are there. Then coming into the national scenario, apart from production and productivity of crops, which have achieved in last 50 years, 60 years time, we need to work hard on the ecology and the environment to make our agriculture sustainable. At certain point of time, when the intensive agriculture come into existence, so-called intensive agriculture, we ignored the ecology, we ignored the environment. And if ecology and environment, those two components are ignored, I think a point will come, a time will come when the nature is going to ignore the agriculture. And we have to face that dire consequences. So we must care our environment, we must care our ecology to have the sustainable production for the farmers and economic sustainability. Not only its commercialization is every time important, but the ethics of the environment, the ethics of the ecology must be given due consideration. Two things are being talked recently quite open. One is organic farming and another is natural farming. We all believe in quality for our safety, for our security, for our health, for our longevity, everything. But here the interventions are required. Now you tell me, just I am putting a question to you. Hybrid maize, 18 tons, 16 tons, 12 tons. Even the farmers are achieving, at least under Indian context, there are many farmers who are achieving 8 to 12 tons of maize yield. Now, when we talk about hybrids, whether they can be adjusted with the organic farming and natural farming system. Because when you talk about agriculture, it does not mean that we are going to fulfill the human requirement. We have got another component, the animal husbandry, the other environmental factor to meet with, where the agricultural producers are also required. For the production of poultry, for the production of meat, and for the production of fisheries and everything, milk, everything, the agriculture is used. So under the scenario, we talk many things principally, those are correct. But practically, a rice wheat system, for example, in the northwestern part of the country, which is giving around 12 tons of yield. When you talk about organic farming, that means the farmer must get that 12 tons. At the same time, the benefits from organic cultivation, the 35 to 35% premium is going to be an added advantage for the farmers. That is the economic returns to the farmers for going organic cultivation. When you go for organic cultivation, automatically over a period of time, it is going to take care of the ecology and the environment. But it is practically possible. Now, many a time data are given that, okay, within 3 years, 4 years, that is being achieved. But I got a question to the people, because I worked with organic farming from 1999 when Dr. Sompal ji was the first agriculture, the Dadin agriculture minister. With his intervention and the director Modipuram intervention, we had the first national symposium on organic farming at New Delhi. Now, organic farming does not reveal only that without applying anything or something from plant or animal origin, you can get everything possible, what we get under intensive cropping system or cultivation systems. Now, today, in today's context, when we talk about the varieties, take any rice variety or take any wheat varieties. If you go through the way those varieties are being developed, you will find most of the varieties, they are vertically bred. That means the major criteria for getting that variety was towards the yield, and remaining aspects of the variety or the varieties were taken care by the agrochemicals to control the disease and pest, and the nutrient requirements through supplementation of fertilizer elements. Now, when we talk about going for organic cultivation, if we need to go through those varieties of crop cultivation, the first question will be how to control the disease and pest of those crops. Now, many books are there, references are there. People will be saying go through the cow urine or the these biotechnological biocontrol agents or that biocontrol agents, but practically it is not happening. So research methodologies and modes need to be channelized. The amount of money and time and the manpowers which are involved in the intensive agriculture research process, a parallel setup needs to be there in the country, or over a period, there need to be supplementation of the research owners to the organic farming system to develop a variety which can give higher yield, and to have the plants which can resist to a disease and pest. You won't find many research experiences in the country, though there is a project, network project on organic farming, but it has got its limited scopes. So parallel, equal number of research personnel, research activities, and monetary involvement must be there to have the organic farming successful. Now, in many parts of the country, what has happened? Just basic principles of organic farming is being told. Certification process is coming on, and people are trying to say this is organic. If you go to Delhi Hart, if you go to big places, even there are even Kolkata and Bangalore, you find many organic producers. So you need to know how these producers are coming. Are those basically either it is a organically certified product or the process is certified? Either the product is certified or the process is certified. So major thrust needs to be given for the research and development on varieties, on management practices, on disease and pest management practices, weed control practices, and then only you can have a parallel organic management versus the intensive management, and that will reveal the plus benefit to the farmers, and that is monetary benefit immediately coming to the farmers. But the next, what is important to the farmers and the people of the country and the continent, it is that when we go for organic farming in totality, we are going to clean the environment, we are going to clean the water, we are going to clean the ecology, and you will find the animals are coming more in number. More the urbanization is taking place, we are finding less the animals are coming into context. So we need to have a balance. Animals are most prime factor for the existence of human being. And not only to fulfill the milk and meat or egg or other products, but many environmental ecological conditions, those are being controlled by the animals which are available around us. And that's the way the universe has developed itself. So my major consideration or major thinking when I go for talking on organic farming, we need to strengthen the excellence of research, development of modern technologies on agriculture, and to have the basic fundamental difference with organic farming and your extensive farming is not that you are going to get less yield. The benefit is that you are going to get a premium of your products. At the same time, you are going to get the environment and ecology revived. So in that direction, we need to work. And where it is not a matter of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it's a long-term process as the agriculture research and developments are going on in the country and the world and various research organizations. Then coming to the natural farming. Anything natural is good. People also love nature, the beauty of nature. But we need to understand where we stand and how to fill up that bridge. Where we stand and where we need to go. And that's also the same way the organic farming is going to go, that we need to work on its science and its existence. Then what is happening in our system? India is a fast developing country, economically developing country. Around its position is around 5th and 6th in the world. So many times we think we can have imports. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind one thing. If you do not exploit your potentiality, if those are unused, you're losing something of yours, the economy. Now, there are many aspects to diversification of crop production. One of the major diversification in crop production just simple slogan we used to listen in the older days, roti, kapda or makan. We are enough in our food system, but practically its quality, its quantity, everything can be increased, bringing precision technologies and science into its existence. Secondly, what we are ignoring as we have become grown up first within the world's economy and stand 5th or 6th is that we must look around the textile fibers. We are enough in cotton. The cotton revolution has taken place. The majority part of the cotton in the country, those are being revolutionized through BT cotton and increased production and productivity. The few natural fibers which can be used as textile fibers. Just take example of China. Where the rami, the world strongest textile fiber, the 95% to 96% of the world's rami is being grown in China. And most of the sports material, those are being manufactured from rami. Our country has got a huge vast potential in the Northeast. But what is happening? We got enough amount of research data available with us. But the engineering and the agriculture, they are not coming together to exploit its potentiality. Because it's a fiber crop which needs its engineering end. The processes. As sugarcane is there in the country, it's a commercial crop. It is also a commercial crop. The farmers growing sugarcane, taking to mill, either preparation of jaggery or sugar is there. Similarly, the rami crop which is being cultivated, it needs to be taken to the industry where extraction, fiber processing, and so on, and the fiber will come out for the textile production. So that is not taking place. India got a huge potentiality, and immediately to the tune of 10,000 crores of rupees can be earned with the rami cultivation in the northeast part of the country, and the farmers' economy can be improved upon. Where we need to have a look, and even we can go to the sub-hills of the western parts of the Himalayas, even the Uttarakhand in Himachal Pradesh, where we can go. And that is not being taken care of, where we can directly make involvement of increase in farmers' income to the large extent, where the traditional crops are not bringing more profitability to the farmers, and farmers are becoming marginal with time passing. And same thing with another fiber crop is the linen. If you go to the various parts of the country and go to big stores of the big cities, you will find at least 30 to 40% of the textile materials are made of linen. We heard about linen since its inception, but till date, the country has never ventured for commercial production of linen. It's the linseed, the fiber type, the tall type with less branching. So the northwest part of the country have got the ability to diversify the cropping system and to improve the farmers' profitability. The maize is a crop which has been introduced extensively with the availability of hybrid varieties and the production potentially to the tune of 10-12 tons in many important states of the country. And particularly when you go to the northwest part of the country where maize has been supplemented we can have a diversified crop production system. And that not only are going to sustain the productivity of the soils, but where there are problems of invasion of the agricultural fields by animals, their linseed commercially as a flax crop with industrial collaboration can be achieved. So in today's agricultural context, we need to go for diversification, not only to increase the production, the productivity and the production of particular commodity, but to have a regular return to the farmers, increased return to the farmers, and which in turn, not only giving increased returns, they are going to go through the sustenance of the environment, ecology, and benefits for increasing the improvement of the natural resources to our soil. We need to have scientific involvement of the technologies. Till date, I'm thankful or grateful. We are grateful to the IFCO and many subsidiaries. Those who are in present day context would bring many plant nutrients in combination together for balanced nutrition of the soils and maintenance of the natural resources for our production and productivity. But to what extent our farmers are in a position to go for their applications? Bringing back organics into the system for natural resource management, for the soil biological, chemical, and physical properties improvement, what have degraded in last many years, at least to have a potential yield. The country needs to take its natural resources to its original uses. One of the most advantageous position our country has, our country is there, that we enjoy Western Himalayas hills in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal, Uttarakhand, till Bay of Bengal, the Gangetic alluvium and other alluviums, to the dry tract of Rajasthan, to the run of Kutch, and all different agroecological zones, at least gives immense opportunity to our countrymen to be self-sustainable. And we find the way the things are progressing, we can take our agriculture and its allied subjects to its maximum potentiality and make the country as a world leader. No doubt, the way the interventions are being made and the central and state level, the activities are going on, hopefully we are going to achieve those things very soon. And at a particular point of time, we find our country is going to be a major exporters of farm materials to fulfill the need of many countries, and development of agro industries and the processed foods are also the need of the hour, along with agricultural development that is taking place with space. So we need to give a new dimension to our agriculture, research, agricultural education, and extension activities. Now, my earnest request to most of the agricultural scientists, a simple three-letter word is there, PRA, participatory rural appraisal, which gives an idea of an agricultural scientist what the people of those areas think, what are the geographical niches, what should be the crop adaptation and distribution, and to what extent we can go for the bringing new intervention into the system so that it can bring maximum benefits to the farmers. It's quite apparent with today's fast developing nation that farm also needs to give equal output what other engagements are giving. So we need to make farm much more remunerative to the people. So new direction, new thinking, new innovations with scientific involvement of the agricultural researchers, and side by side the support of the planners and the political willpower are so important factors. The new researchers in agricultural subject, I
Sorry
find
to
that,
interrupt you, sir. Hello, sir.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, sir, but we are running out of time. Can you
okay,
please
no
wind
issue.
up? Yeah,
Okay, no issue.
you can just conclude it, sir. No issue.
Okay, so I was on the way of concluding it. So that thrust need to be given for the scientific involvement of the farm technologies and activities to have more income generation to the farm families. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was great listening to you. I hope the students, the participants must have gained a lot of knowledge from your talk. From Team Just Agriculture, I would like to deliver a thankful note to you. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time.
Thanks very much. You're most welcome. And
Yeah.
if any query is there, I can justify those.
Yes, yes, sir. We'll just shortly take some one or two questions. I can see hands raised of some of the participants. If they have to interact, I'll just ask them to unmute themselves. Uttam Bauri, sir, kindly unmute yourself. If you have any query or any question, kindly unmute yourself and you can ask, please. Any other participant?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Very good evening.
Yeah. सर मेरे को एक आपसे जानकारी चाहिए थी कि जैसे कुछ वेस्ट बंगाल साइड के या कुछ झारखंड के हमारे साथ बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स कनेक्टेड हैं या फार्मर्स कनेक्टेड हैं। तो वो कई बार हमें क्वेरीज पूछते हैं कि कोई स्टार्टअप एक्सेलरेटर या इंक्यूबेटर मतलब उस साइड में उतना अभी नहीं या पॉपुलर नहीं है, तो क्या आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी में एज सच कोई एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप या स्टूडेंट्स के लिए या कोई स्टार्टअप्स के लिए एज सच कुछ अवेलेबल है? तो आप प्लीज उसके बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी स्टूडेंट्स को दीजिए, क्योंकि उस साइड से भी काफी लोग जुड़े हुए हैं मीटिंग में।
No, it is already there.
Okay,
Actually, we have got startups in our KVKs, particularly with organic farming, with the production of agro inputs. Those are there in KVKs, vegetable productions, and all those things are there. Now they can directly contact to our director extension, particularly in the South Bengal region, and the KVKs which are there, the activities which are being taken into consideration, and they can join, because many startup groups are working with our KVKs that I got in my knowledge. So the specific, if you want to have something in your mind, you just send a mail to our DE, Director Extension Education, and you will get a prompt reply within a few days time. No issue at all.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful talk and addressing the question. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so the leftover questions will be mailed to you as we are already running out of time. Thank you, sir. Moving towards our next session, now we have with us Dr. Subhashisa Bal. Before inviting sir for his talk, I would like to give a brief introduction of him. So Dr. Subhashisa is a PhD in botany from Utkal University, Bhubaneswar, India. His research area includes rice biodiversity, functional genomics, transcriptomics, crop improvement, and biodiversity conservation. His scientific activity involves mapped QTL linked to salt tolerance in rice variety, DNA fingerprinting, identifying and characterizing BPT 5204 integration lines with high yield, identifying and characterizing KMR3 interregression lines with tolerance to drought, salinity, and resistance to bacterial leaf blight, blast, and brown blast hopper, developing chromosome segment substitution lines from elite, developing high yielding and good quality rice interregression lines using wild species, publication of a compendium of up-to-date information, and bring biannual circulation of biosphere reservation information service on Similipal Biosphere Reserve to promote awareness among the people, developing a digital library of folklore information on medicinal plants of Orissa. Identify plant keystone species of Similipal Biosphere Reserve for forest restoration and biodiversity conservation. His career history includes presently working as national consultant for organic farming, natural farming, regenerative farming at International Rice Research Institute, India, Office, Varanasi, UP. And since 2015, he is the founder and CEO at Surya Seeds Research, Landrace, Puri, Odisha. Now, without wasting much of time, I would like to call Dr. Subhashisa Bal for his talk. Please, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Madam, my phone is camera is not working properly, so I muted the camera. Audio is audible. My voice is
Yes,
audible.
sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Just start my slide, madam.
Okay, fine, sir.
Thank you for your nice introduction about me.
Yeah, sure, sir. We'll start the presentation.
Just start from PPT 1.
Yeah, okay.
Before there is a slide, beginning slide. You are in the second slide. No, go upward, upward. No, upward, upward. You are coming down. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Myself, Dr. Subhash Isbal from Puri, Odisha. That's why I am very near to the place Jagannath Temple. So Jai Jagannath, and my blessings to all the participants, and there is a blessings from Lord Jagannath to all the participants who joined the Just Agriculture webinar. So second slide, please. Already, madam introduced about me, so this is about me only. So presently, I am working as a national consultant for International Rice Research Institute for regenerative farming. And secondly, I have a seed company named Surya Seeds Research. And myself working as a, sometimes I'm working as a founder of the organization, sometimes I'm working as a worker of the organization, and sometimes I'm working as a scientist of the organizer, sometimes I'm working as a marketing person of the organization, because it is my own organization. So I have to take care of all the part from top to bottom, then it will be a success. If I feel I'm a scientist, I'll sit in the laboratory, it is not possible. Agriculture is not like that. So, next slide, please. From myself, from my side, welcome to all of you on behalf of ED and Landrace. Next slide, please. Just left side of the photograph, there is a snap. It is my college, Nimapada College, where I completed my graduation. From that place, I dreamed how I have to reach IARI or ED, because I have targeted from that date. I'll join as a postdoctoral researcher or scientist, either in ED or in IARI. So I fixed before, from the beginning I fixed. So I chose ED to work as a national consultant for the regenerative farming. And in between, I have worked with Dr. N.K. Singh sir in sequencing lab at IRI for about 2 to 3 years. Then I shifted to Indian Institute of Rice Research, Hyderabad. Then from 2015, I completely came back to my native place. You're moving. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next slide, please. My voice is a little bit slow.
No, sir. The next slide is already on the screen.
Oh. So there is a flight. So what is meaning? Any entrepreneur, please, 1 minute. Just a single word you can describe. Anyone, please? Or I'll feel the phone is on and the participant is somewhere, because in the screen, someone joining, someone leaving, someone joining, someone leaving. That is happening. Anyone, please? It is a flight. No, nothing is there. What is the meaning? Madam, everyone is there or just phone is?
No, sir. We have nearly 170 participants with us, and they are
Okay.
listening to you. You can just go on with your talk. No issues.
Okay, madam. Dear participant, before flying, you have to decide your destination, where you have to land. Otherwise, your mission will be failure. That is the meaning of that flight. Next slide, please. Just told madam, because time is very short and we have to move. I decided where I have to land. So that's why I choose Erie and Landress for my destination. So that is my aerodrome. So so that I can safely land it. Next slide, please. So this is my landing position. So I joined Erie as a national consultant for organic farming. So where I can explore many things regarding on rice and organic farming. Then the same things I can transfer to the participants so that they can learn something about rice and regenerative farming or natural farming or organic farming. Next slide, please. Many slides are there, so I have to move very quickly. This is my destination place where I'm working as a national consultant. Next, please. Madam, next, please. This is my second destination, which is my own one. So it is my family farm where I am producing a chemical-free grains for my family, for my kids. That's why I decided the second destination in my life. Next slide, please. My aim is to connect the smart farmers to smart kitchens so that the farmers can get benefit and a consumer can get the benefit. So both the participants will be benefited and mutually benefited. So there will be no problem to sell a product for the farmers. At the same time, a consumer can get a good product from the farmers. So that is the meaning. Next slide, please. Presently, I am concentrating on rice aroma mission. I have not chosen any rice varieties because there are about 1,000 variety of rice is there. Among that, I choose just near about 70 to 80 variety of aromatic rice, which is having high market value in India or also in abroad. So I have not choose to popular varieties, or I have not choose to hybridized varieties. So I have not choose to any indigenous varieties. Only I have choose the aromatic varieties, which will give the beneficial to the farmers. At the same time, the consumer will get the good rice from the farmers. So that is the meaning of RAM. And in our place in Puri Jagannath temple, every day Mahaprasad is coming. That is coming from the popular varieties. So my aim, I have to produce that much quantity of aromatic rice through farmers' participation, so that every day quintals of rice will be used for the Mahaprasad. So this is the rice, single rice grain. Lower part of the rice is showing the natural cultivation through our livestock presently. So we don't have that much livestock to produce the foods. We have already lost our livestock. There are about 70% livestock we have lost. So if you'll closely see the rice, you'll get from the plowing to harvesting and up to the storage, you'll get everything in that rice. Next, madam. Next, madam. So rice is the life for half of the world population. So that's why I have concentrated on rice. Next slide, please. Just skip, madam. So this is the topic. If anyone or any entrepreneur want to come into the agriculture sector, especially for rice, they should choose the aromatic rice cultivation through regenerative agriculture practices. so that it can enhance the farming income, and it can give a good return to the entrepreneurs. Whenever a popular rice variety you are growing, just you will get 20 kg, 20 rupees per kg. But instead of 20 rupees, you can get 100 to 50, 150 rupees if you are cultivating the aromatic rice with the different nutritional qualities. So all of you know the present global scenario, climate change, what is happening right now. Just scroll, madam. I will tell simultaneously. These are the present scenario: flood, drought, heat stress, salt stress, and cold stress. All these 5 are the major stresses damaging our rice cultivation every year. So near about to 30% rice cultivation were damaged by all these five conditions. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So every year cyclone is coming. So whenever we are in the school age, so after 20 years, a single cyclone will come. But nowadays, after 1 year, 2 years, or within 6 months, a cyclone is coming, which is damaging near about to 30 to 40% of the field. Not particularly rice. Every crop, it is damaged by the cyclone. Next slide, please. After cyclone, stubble burning, one of the major problem nowadays in the northeast part, where people growing the basmati rice, because after harvesting the basmati rice, they have to go for the wheat cultivation. So between harvest and again sowing, only 20 to 25 days time is there. So there is no option so that they can collect these stubbles and they can divert into a organic fertilizer. Simply, if they will collect all these things from the field, and they have to spend some of the money. They're about 3,000 or 4,000 they have to spend. But a single 1 rupees match box will be sufficient to finish all these things. So this is the present scenario. So no one is interested to spend money for the stubbles. They just simply want to burn all these things. So that's why Delhi is the most polluted city nowadays. Next slide, please. By 1 rupees matches, we are burning the stubbles. But what happening? We're losing our, next slide, please. We're losing the microbial diversity of the soil. All are damaged by the heat stress. So this is the condition.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can we have an interactive session, and we can just share the slides to the participants later on?
Yes, no issue, madam.
Okay, participants, those who have any queries or questions can just raise their hands. I'll unmute one by one, and we can have an interactive session with Dr. Subhashi sir. Payal, kindly unmute yourself, and you can go with your question, please. Sir, by that time, I just want to ask, can you just briefly tell us that what your organization does, like Surya Seeds, what actually work is performed there?
Just my organization is producing organic rice, which is particularly basmati aromatic rice, non-basmati type. It is especially short grain aromatic rice. I have near about 70 different type of aromatic rice, which is very short grains. One rice is having iron content, another rice is aroma with zinc, another is aroma with protein, another one will be aroma with calcium, like that. So I have targeted different nutritional property in different rice, so that I can me and others, those are interested to produce aromatic rice, they can get benefit. Instead of 20 rupees per kilo, they can go up to 100 or 150. Because if you Google all these things, you'll get how much price is there for the aromatic rice.
Okay. Akanksha has raised her hand. Akanksha, kindly unmute yourself and go with your question, please. Akanksha? Okay, sir, there's a question.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
There's a rice breed name which can be cultivated above 40 degrees centigrade temperature. Can you name the rice breed? Someone has asked the question. Lingaraj Sajjan.
40 degrees centigrade. Generally, in our area, in the month of March to May or June, normally temperature goes beyond 40 degrees. And in that condition, I am also cultivating aromatic varieties like Gitanjali. Gitanjali will be suitable for that time if temperature is going beyond 40 degrees, because all aromatic rice need cold climate, so that aroma will be there. If heat is there, aroma will be not there. So you will get the volume only.
Okay.
Gitanjali variety you can cultivate.
Okay, thank you, sir. The next question is from Annie. What are the special operations in developing aromatic rice?
Hello, half of the voice is caught. One second, madam.
What are the special operations in developing aromatic rice?
Yes, aromatic. If you are cultivating aromatic rice through chemical farming, the aroma will be not there. It is dead sure. For all the aromatic, whatever aromatic rice variety is there in India, all aromatic varieties need very low dose of chemical fertilizer like NPK. So with the minimum dose of NPK, if you are doing precision farming, if you are producing first time, don't move completely organic like Sri Lanka. Just in first year, you apply 30% of biofertilizer. Next year, 50% biofertilizer you can add. Third year, you can add 70% of biofertilizer, and fourth year onwards, you can completely eliminate the fertilizer. But before that, if you are going to cultivate aromatic rice, you have to add near about 4 to 5 ton of cow dung compost or FY compost in the field. Then you have to cultivate pulses. Then after pulses harvest, you have to cultivate the Dhanica sesbania seeds. So then you can get the natural nitrogen from that. Then after transplanting, you have to spread the blue-green algae. Then you do not need to apply any NPK. These are the 5 stages if you are going for the organic cultivation with the aromatic rice.
Okay. So the last question is aromatic rice nutritious?
Yes. All aromatic rice are nutritious. Like new collagen rice having low glycemic index with zinc and iron, and the channelize is highly aromatic. Like new Dusra, one of the varieties there, released from Central Rice Research Institute, Cuttack. New Dusra is there, channelize is there, Govindabhog from West Bengal is there, Haldi Gundi, it is a completely medicinal rice is there. Like that, many are there. I have near about 70 variety of rice. All are very nutritious than normal rice. And market rice, minimum 100 rupees will be there. You can Google right now. If anyone having the doubt, they can Google. Kalajira, I am telling the new Kalajira. You can Google, you will get the price per kg in the online market.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Sir, can we produce multivitamin biofortified rice?
Yes, for that, CR Dhan 310 is there, 311 is there, DRR 45 is there. These are biofortified rice. CR Dhan 10 is rich with high protein. CR Dhan 11 rich with protein and zinc. DRR 45 is rich with zinc, like that.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. We'll share your PPT with the participants in the respective WhatsApp groups. And I hope your questions must have given them a good knowledge. Sir, there's a last question. Gitanjali breed is suited to northern, means it's Gitanjali breed suited for northern Karnataka. Can it be cultivated in northern Karnataka?
Yes, you can try it, because as it is a aromatic variety, so particularly it is developed for the Orissa climate. It will grow in the Karnataka, but I don't know that aroma will be there or not. And you try for your Karnataka varieties; those are locally available.
Okay.
It will be better for the Karnataka.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving your valuable time and answering all the questions so patiently. From Team Just Agriculture, I once again thank you for giving your valuable time. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. If any question is there, you can tell them. My mail ID is there. They can mail me so that I'll reply.
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll just share your mail ID with them.
Yes, madam. My mail ID is there. My WhatsApp number is there.
Sure, I'll share both the things in the WhatsApp group.
Yes. If if anyone Google my name or my Facebook link, my LinkedIn profile, my Instagram, my Twitter account will come, and from that they will get all the knowledge what I'm doing presently.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again to Madam, you and Just Agriculture for giving me a chance to expose my knowledge to the participants, so that in the future they can get benefited. Because after COVID, the maximum entrepreneurs developed within India, they don't want to fly abroad. They want to do something. That's why they joined Just Agriculture, so that they can get the knowledge from different scientists, so that independently they can do something their own.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
madam.
Thank you for your words, sir. Thank you. Okay, participants, moving towards our next session. Now I would like to call Dr. Syed Ismail, sir, for his talk. But before inviting for his talk, I would like to give a brief introduction of him. Dr. Syed Ismail is an agricultural engineer and management professional working in embedded electronics related to agriculture, automobile, automation, process control industry for the last 40 years. He holds a PhD in engineering as academic qualification, but unparalleled experience with various industries and academics. He is actively involved in promoting automation and control systems in Indian agriculture for climate resilient and sustainable farming. He has vast experience in integrating electronics into multidisciplinary engineering, extensive experience in management of human resource, communication skills, enjoys mentoring and training of professionals, molding young entrepreneurs. So we have a great personality with us. Without wasting much of time, as we are already running out of time, I would like to call upon Dr. Syed Ismail, sir, to start his session. Please, sir.
Thank you. Very interesting talks we listened just now. Just a second. Yes. I think last, let's say about 8 years, I think India is going through lot of changes in agriculture, in technology as well, because I remember before 25 years, we started having telephones. I still recall the telephones were costing around 30,000 rupees to get a telephone. And then Sampatoda came and started, and we started getting telephones. That's the first thing. Then our industries started growing well in the food industry, for example, where you get your farsan, everything, they grow very well. Milk, they are big industries, biscuits, all you see the agriculture related industries. Unfortunately, the agriculture, the farmers, they remain as they were or rather poorer. That is the reality. And we had in the last 4 years, lot of, we heard about farmers' income suddenly, we want to double it, we want to do this, we want to do that. And then we hear also from the side of the academicians as well as researchers, each one defending what they do. But ultimately, it's a positive thing. There is some discussion happening. So I'm going to talk about a topic which is really important for the country at this stage, because we hear a lot of talk going on about, for example, now recently drones. Before that, we heard about we want to put 20 lakhs of solar pumps throughout the country, and we want to generate the solar electricity. We hear a lot of technology stuff now recently coming. So I want to show you, share with you some of the examples. These some of the information what I'm giving you is also has been presented in FAO by my professor recently within this month. So some of the information it's already appreciated in the FAO. So that's where probably the trend is going, or we foresee the trend to be. So bear with me. I'll finish within 30 minutes, like usual time. Well, in 20 slides, and I think we'll go by each one. I think I will share all the slides I given to Utkasha. She will share with you if you require. Automation is something which we do. We want to do it the similar thing always and faster time. That is automation. You can find definition anywhere. This is automation. And what is smart agriculture? What I mentioned here in the slide is what Government of India produced as a statement before several years. But however, what they mean the same thing, that we have to do something in agriculture. What is being done currently, we have to automate to get better benefits to the farmers as well as to the community. Now we have to understand automation. We have to go back a little bit. We'll go back a little bit only to understand how we are going ahead. So we have to see both sides. Green Revolution came in 60s and 70s. They produced, first they worked on high yielding varieties. Second one, irrigation. Third one, fertilizer, and agriculture machinery. What this Green Revolution did? They reduced the hunger. They increased the agricultural productivity. They did not increase unemployment, but freed up the labor for other sectors. So other industrial sector were getting labor. Like we had textile, everything started in India, that time the industry, for example. And increased manufacturing services, they come. And tractor was named as a driver of a rural economy. Now, when this high yield varieties is not required, we had automation coming in. Irrigation pumps, in soil preparation, we have mold bowl plow and harrows, disc harrows. Now we have tiny harrows, but I will come back to that later stage. And we have a lot of seeders coming into picture. We have crop protection, sprayers came, dusters came, harvesting, threshing, and then transportation. These are also part of automation in agriculture. Now, in 2021, it's projected actually 150 billion is the agricultural machinery market. We come back to where this, we use mechanization or automation in agriculture. Okay, you see mainly down here, I mentioned soil working and seedbed preparation 40%. 40% is seedbed preparation done by machinery now. Seeding and planting around 30%. Plant protection 34%. Irrigation 37%. Harvesting, threshing, only wheat and rice we are talking. We are not talking about other crop. Because unfortunately, whatever we have done till now, we have forgotten the other crops. We have only worked on wheat and rice, which we thought we are feeding. And even today we are trying to do, but fortunately next year we are going to have millet here. Now we have 250 mediums and to large scale industries in agro-based, and mostly we talk in power practice, which how many power kilowatt hour will come. I given some figures to you, but this doesn't make much sense actually futuristic when you look how it changes. Now we'll come back to, okay, this is what we have done. Now, what is the recent developments? What are the changes we are have? Climate change is really a problem. We heard from second speaker also. And we have also agriculture is contributing to the GH. I mean, the greenhouse emissions are highest from agriculture, especially from animals as well as rice. I think food security is another problem. We are increasing our population. We are not reducing. It will take another 20 years to stabilize it. So we have to produce 70% more, okay, within another 25 years. It's a big challenge. Almost double we have to do it. And we have less area then for fodder crops. So because fodder crops are less, then we cannot have animal food, whatever you call protein, animal protein. That creates another problem. Right now, 1/3 of food is wasted total. But when you go to fruit and vegetables, it's around 70% farm to fork. Wastage is very high, especially in India. And food prices keeps on rising. This is the reality. Now, other side of the coin is the public awareness from the social media has increased. People want good food to eat now. I mean, the trend for eating the fast foods reducing the trend, not the amount I'm talking. So people want food with increased nutritional values and more awareness of environmental challenges. Even farmers know about the problem, and natural and organic farming practices are increasing. So let's come back to this. Introduces some more need for mechanization. Whatever we have to do, it comes to it. We'll come back to this at a later stage. What are the farmers need in India? But I want to tell here, more of organic and nutritional food is required. See, at this point, we have to observe also. We had a lot of sustainable goals. I don't know how many of you understand, but somewhere to measure a country, how it is doing, we all agree to the point, and we find our nutritional values are less. And it is true. The reason is how many people, real poor people, they get vegetables and fruits to eat. Only eating dal and rice will not make you nutritional enough. So we have stunted growth. All this are all proven. So what we are going to do is one movement is doing very good now. Pulses are coming up. Millets will come up. So I think this is the correct direction. We'll come back to see a little bit more of current scenario in Indian agriculture. This is very important. Every professor talks, any scientist talks, but on the field, it is very important to know this. There is high disparity of income. Okay. Now you ask any farmer in Maharashtra, probably it's 1,500 rupees income per acre per month. Okay, I have put as 2,500. Imagine that a professor gets 2.5 lakhs a month, which means he needs 100 acres in a small rain-fed crop area in somewhere. So the scientists, we are all paid enough now, but we have to see the farmers are paid less. So we cannot blame anyone. We have to see the solution. Why? So this is a big challenge. And another challenge attached to this, 50% of the rural population, there is a job available, but it's expensive. Rural population don't want to work on low-cost jobs. We come back to, we produce enough meat, poultry, fish, fruits, vegetables. We produce really more than sugar and wheat and rice. We have some small restrictions we had in exporting of them because of our chemical content, and we are solving it slowly. This is again a positive side. The worst part is we import oil, vegetable oil, not only for our vehicles, but also oil. This, some drastic knee-jerk reactions are happening in the country. I would say knee-jerk reactions, but I think we'll cool down slowly as usual, and we have to produce more oil ourselves. And we use very heavy water and chemicals and fertilizer. This is the biggest problem India has to reduce. Only this reduction will give farmers more income. There is no other way. There's no magic word. Now, farmers have two monsters. Remember that. There's somebody who from Department of Agriculture told me about 7-8 years back. Okay, monsoon and the market. Okay, we can solve the market. We are trying to solve, but monsoon is difficult now. So conservation agriculture is one of the things which is constantly ignored by scientists. I will explain this slowly. Now, problem areas. What are the problem areas India faces? Before automation, we are talking, another 2 minutes. No sufficient coordination between stakeholders. There's a farmers, industry, academia, research, and the agriculture department people, where most of the agricultural and agriculture engineers all work in the department. There's no coordination, really not. Everybody says it's not a mandate. Second is only tractorization happened, that's 50%. Post-harvest losses up to 30 to 70%. And policies, subsidies, we will not discuss policies here. We'll talk about technology. Absence of rural employment exists. Agriculture education, skill development has to be really revisited, because how many people really get a job in industry? That is a question mark. What will India will go through in the future, already happening in the South, is a form of what you call natural farming, everything, but basis is what you call three. There's conservation agriculture. There are only 3 points. I want to tell all the students, everybody, 3 points. Remember, conservation agriculture is nothing to do with the chemicals, nothing with anything else. Point number 1, you need not disturb the soil so much. Disturb minimum possible. Okay. No need to do plowing, no need to do puddling, not required. No scientific proof at all. Okay. Minimum tillage required. So don't disturb the soil. So microorganism, everything will remain as it is. Point number 2, you have to have permanent cover on the soil. You put something, you don't leave it barren, the soil. So evaporation, everything will happen. So this is the second one. Third one is you must have crop rotation. You must have multiple crops grown, not only go to monoculture like paddy or wheat. Now we ask the small farmers. See, India, 85% we call as a small and marginal farmers who have less than, let me put that, about 5 acres. So they are machineries they want, small machineries. Soybean is nothing is there. Just now harvesters are coming. Cotton, there is no weeding. There is no harvesting for cotton available. The first speaker was talking about cotton. We have a problem of about 30% loss in cotton in Maharashtra. I visited personally in last 4 years. I'm visiting and I'm seeing sometimes every alternate year there are 20-30% farmers lose. So we have to optimize. Second one is the optimization of inputs they want. Farmers want to reduce the cost of fertilizer, because they want to reduce the water to be used. How to give solution? That's what we have to give. And they want to have storage facilities, local storage facilities. That's a big challenge for the country. Why fruits are not going? Because we don't have storage facilities. Sustainable storage automation facilities, we don't have. This is one of the, why I'm telling you we don't have, is an opportunity for youngsters. These are the areas which farmers will immediately jump and buy from you, guaranteed. Anyway, third point is the controlled environment agriculture. This is again another one of them which is getting popular now for growing vegetables. It's becoming very popular. The controlled environment agriculture. This I would call even what you call the polyhouses, which was mess up actually happened in the past, and people have done it also, accepted the mess up because the implementation was the problem. So polyhouses, when you look at somewhere in let us say in Himachal, is different than what should be in Kerala. Kerala is heavily humid. Or in Hyderabad, which is very hot, goes up to 52 degrees. So there are some mistakes happen. We have to readjust it. And polyhouses are future. And this comes even urban agriculture comes into this part. Last point is alternative protein. India is now started. They started making alternative because you won't have any more animal protein available. And billions and billions of dollars invested by US companies. You can Google and see in Singapore available to you. Vegetable-based hamburger available to India also. Bombay also started. So I think there's huge potential for entrepreneurs to come into vegetable-based animal protein look like stuff. And it's not only there stuffs. I would even add, I think people don't like it, but even insect farming is very popular, pushed through in, for example, Africa. Now, I won't go through this completely detail. I've gone through many times in my previous lectures. Which are all the applications for automation possibilities in agriculture? This slide will be shared to you. I will just show you this from sensors and actuators. Everything is covered. Warehouse management, electric fence for the animals protection, land preparation equipments. You can have hydroponics, aeroponics, food processing, solar pumps, livestock identification, drones, crop protection in artificial intelligence. There's so many hype words we hear. All can be used. But let us see next. The important curve is a hype curve. Yeah, any innovation triggers a lot of hype. People start jumping immediately. I will achieve this. I will achieve this. I will achieve this. We start investing money. And ultimately, when it comes to, after some time, you come to the peak of inflated expectation. For example, you say soil sensors will be there everywhere in the soil. People don't realize what is the cost of soil sensor, what is accuracy. I have worked a lot on that, so I can share if somebody interested. But the question is, practically, you should be working for about at least 1,000 hectares. Then only I believe it works, the system, not in a small lab. Then we come back to even now, right now, going on drones, for example, the hype on spraying everything. But when you come to, it'll come through automatically, trough of disillusionment. That means finally we found nothing is working out. Because last week, you see, Amazon has stopped the wing of robot and 50% of your Alexa. Okay, that's about 10 billion loss they're putting. Last week it is the news, and most of the it's pitching the Western people also in automation because of what we are going through, the financial crisis. Anyway, we have to be careful and to select sustainable. That's what I'm meaning. I will tell you simple buzzwords what the students must know. Blockchain, they say, there's nothing but keeping a data in different computers. In simple words, okay? You're keeping the data in different computers, not one computer. So if one computer gets crashed, you get the data from other, and one computer cannot change the data without knowledge of others. So that is distributed database. It gives security, redundancy. IoT means connecting different sensors, different actuators, means valves, motors, whatever happens. Big data means you store and retrieve huge amount of data. Not small data. Small data, you know how in your WhatsApp you can send whatever it is. Huge amount of data, like if you talk about plant, whatever it is. So that there are different algorithms used to drive the data, utilize it. That's big data. We will not go into detail. Artificial intelligence is actually a decision-making algorithm. There's nothing else. Somebody writes algorithm, there's a decision-making process, and you influence this decision-making process by machine learning. I mean, steps, certain conditions will follow. Last one, ICT is very important. It's already producing results in India. This is what your cell phone and everything is doing, and advisories, whatever comes into it. I'll go faster because time is short. So now I come to trends and advance. What are the trends right now? ICT has already started working. Crop planting advisory is already given, even in Maharashtra. Like says you plant the crop now. So they know already from the weather data when the rain is going to come. Stuff like that. So they say you plant the crop. It's very, very important. This has to go beyond now. In detail, we must work on it. Pest advisory. When the pink bollworm is going to attack the cotton. Okay, every farmer must get the information. Advisories are very important. That's what farmers are looking for. Market access already started working now. There's a lot of work to be done still with ICT. Soil and water potential. It is implemented partially, but a lot of work to be done. Yield prediction is not proper. Even at the national level, yield prediction is a question mark, but can be improved. Now, drones have been very successful in locust control and field survey. But there are issues like pesticides usage. What is the efficiency? Whether it's twice you have to use pest mode, because drones, till now we don't have technology to identify soil and the crop, okay, built in every drone. So this all, and even nozzles we don't have till now developed for drones specifically. Blockchain, artificial intelligence already used in track and trace, food product. This is already started. It's an excellent future. For example, we export mangoes, everything. I can give a lot of examples to that later on. What are the areas to be researched and developed? Yes, agriculture spraying, irrigation advisory has to be thoroughly studied and done. Artificial intelligence for irrigation, because we don't have data. We don't have data. We don't have the layers for the AI layers. We have to get them. And nutrition management also. A lot of work people talk. Big data for nutrition pest advisory is also one possibility. Now I come to one of the automation solution, which is sustainable in India. Okay, we use 80% of water in agriculture in India. 40% is the world, okay, fresh water. 50% is United States. 80% water used in agriculture, only 4% for drinking in India, and which we can save easily. So I think if we see the figures, it's really why we don't save till now. It's a big question mark. We also depleting groundwater 2 to 3 meters per year. 2 to 3 meters, very, very high. And you know about in Punjab, the Cancer Express, now Hyderabad Express also started. I think what remind you, you cannot pump groundwater up. And there are solutions available we have to follow. I'll show you some of the examples in the next line. Rice cultivation, 40% of global water is used for rice cultivation. Very heavily used. And I wonder who told that water must be always standing on the rice crop on the top. When I went to Ludhiana, I saw differently. There was no water, still rice crop is very good. in BISA form, for example. So we have a lot of works to be done on this. Now, one of the things which is done 10 years back, I'm coming back to the oldest technology, how it can be done with automation. Alternate with drying, that means you let in the paddy, most of the time, water can be down the soil surface. And then you can pump only when it goes below certain level. You can save 30%. A lot of research has been done in all this. Why it does not come? Because there are no single method for the farmer to understand in his farm. 10 places I want to understand where I have to irrigate now. It's not available till now. People say you put a pipe there, go and see each one. No farmer wants to go and see. So this can be done. Second one, surprising for me when I saw drip irrigation used in, for example, in all the tree plantations. Okay, now popular in India everywhere. But even the drip irrigation, you can save 50% by putting the stick with holes directly on the root zone. So he gives the water on the root zone. We have a wrong concept. The soil is required for growing plant. No, the plant needs water. The plant needs fertilizer, not the soil. So we have to change automation in the direction. This is from 21st Washington Post. Just I want to put you. They say the smallest country, Netherlands, is exporting more next to only USA food products. And you must read from this. What they are doing is they are in meat, cell cultured meat, vertical farming, seed technology, and they are they are in the controlled environment agriculture as well as milking and harvesting. Such a small country. Why India can't be? We are now going through this. Youngsters must look at this angle, not hype on technology. Look at where we will get more yield and less cost to the farmer. That's my criteria. Don't say drone runs over me or not, but tell me it's going to be cheaper or not. If not today, will it be in 1 year? If not, think about it. Controlled environment agriculture is growing in the world very fast. Okay, 9 to 20% varies from country to country. The most of the slides are from India taken here, so this is also number. And 30% is reported from Europe. Vegetables they grow themselves, food. Okay, on controlled environment agriculture. India doesn't till now. Drawback is energy intensive. If lighting and heating are needed, India is not required, so no drawback. Advantage: there's no pest, nothing except needed. Climate control. We don't have an affordable climate control in India. Can you tell me if it's available for 10, 20,000 rupees I can have for a small, this one? It's not available. And engineers can do it, or youngsters all can do it. You can do it because it has been done as united together with, let us say horticulture is, everybody must join together hands. Not only engineers can do it. Now, control environment agriculture, I will not go in detail. I think there are some work done in the university like a simple net house, poly house. When it is very humid, you can open only the nets out. Very cheap solution. This is wanted. I want youngsters to work on this type of work, which is no need for a high, you think very high computers required. Small technology automation, which will produce basic results. Everything ultimately it would boil down to simple things in life that we can improve, not the big things to talk about. Food processing is one of the area which is really, we have problems. We have corporate food processing industries, tea, coffee, milk, biscuits, they are all high level automation. But look at local. There is no juice making plant. There's nothing of pickle or local, very local made. There is no bottling system. There's no packaging system, subsidized labeling system, conveyor belt system, not available. They're all made for big companies. So somebody has to work on this small scale agro equipment and food processing. Now, this is some of the problem definitions, right? You see on the slides, the paddy is thrown in Kuruai season in south, okay, because there's no place to dry it, and they spoil some alternate season, they spoil about 20 to 30%. There are no dryers, affordable dryers available. Let's come back to the affordable no tillage seeders we require, no tillage seeders. We don't want to turn the soil up. Weeding equipment for cotton, soybean, banana also, nothing is there. And it's surprising, 80% and above of weedicides are used in Uttar Pradesh. It's damning actually. Weedicides you cannot use because in Gujarat, I remember banana farmers stopped using the Roundup. They told me before 3 years. So we have to take something of weeding instead of weedicides, some other solutions. Use less water, water goes below surface, you won't have weeds. This is one of the scientists told. Multi-purpose prime movers, precision spraying equipments, multi-grain seeders, harvesters. The list is long. I will, because again, time short. Oil palm cultivation. This is again a problem. Oil palm is good, not where it is fertile and forest areas, but put it near Hyderabad, barren areas, oil palm is okay, where you get water. And we have to reduce the energy use also. Okay, energy use is also important. Now, this is the last slide I'm going to show. This is the what is agricultural mechanization or whatever it was called, but I think automation. I talked about the areas, water, okay, is very important. Then I talked about control element agriculture. I talked about it. These are the two areas which really, and of course, the storage systems and food processing. These three areas immediately need help. We don't need other areas that much help to come right now because farmers will help. Now, this needs to be sustainable, means optimum use of farm inputs. Okay, we don't want to use too much. Okay, we use fertilizers too much. Water we use around 30% more than required. Environmental friendly management and sustainable production intensification. So with these few words, I would like to thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to Just Agriculture.
Thank you so much, sir.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Yeah. It was really a very informative presentation. We would quickly take 2 or 3 questions with your permission, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, there's a question from Lingaraj Sajjan. They are asking, shifting to precision agriculture hectares by hectare is best, or all 10 acres into single shot is best approach?
The question is not clear because 10 acres from precision agriculture means what? Precision agriculture in simple line says you have to put the correct amount of nutrients or water at the correct place at the correct time. So I think you do it in all the areas better. So depending on what you mean by precision automation agriculture. Okay.
Yeah. Akanksha has raised her hand. You can just unmute yourself and ask the question if you want to. Akanksha. There's one more question, sir. What are the challenges in organic farming, and is it sustainable as a business point of view?
See, organic farming is very vast, like natural farming also very vast. I think people should read more about it. I would suggest youngsters to read. Natural farming started from somebody says from Japan, somebody started, and from South, Namalwar started, or from Karnataka started. Some a lot of fight, but then ultimately, I think ultimately the organic farming means what is practiced right now is you need a cow dung and cow urine will be difficult to get in the future. So I think organic farming, without thinking of only this, there are many ways. For example, in situ, you can make the same hay, whatever crop comes inside, plow it inside. That is also organic. So more emphasis on cow dung will be a problem because that also produces a lot of methane and stuff like that, and it's not available throughout India. If you talk about some states available, probably now also the trend is only for the Indo-Gangetic plains. Only few kilometers has been proposed, so that will work probably. But I think throughout India, I would say organic farming, if you put as conservation agriculture, okay, it's the same what you talk. You grow something else, other crops, and bury it into it. That all becomes organic. And very important is also we forget the microorganisms. This was talked by somebody in between. They are very important. So we have to somehow bring back the microorganism by organic farming.
Yeah.
It is viable. Sorry, it is viable actually after second year, third year. I have seen people are told me viable. It is the similar produce you get. The question of you cannot compete with your paddy and wheat. Okay, paddy and wheat to grow. I don't think I'm talking here about that. Okay, please.
So the next question is, sir, as tillage exposes pupa and root-borne diseases, but as you are saying that we shouldn't till the soil too much.
The problem is by stirring the soil. You're talking one advantage of stirring the soil, correct?
Yeah.
We see. I have seen myself. I have plowed so many times in my college time and everywhere. I seen a lot of earthworms coming on the top. Is it good?
Yeah.
The question is, earthworm coming good? I don't think it's good. The idea is we have a lot of microorganisms available to do the job. Okay, we use actually the natural soil itself has aeration. So we want to do aeration actually. So I think probably there are many techniques available which can do aeration rather than just only make it. And there are also some saying like you have to leave it barren, the soil, for a while, correct? This also we studied in the colleges. But reality, when you say you need not leave it barren, because it gives much more problems than. So yes, problem for one small solution, one problem solution for one problem need not may create more problems. So that we have to see.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for addressing all the questions and giving your valuable time. We are really thankful to you for giving such a great time to us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Moving towards our next session, now I would like to call Dr. Piyush. Have you joined, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Very good evening and thank you, ma'am. I, Dr. Piyush Chaudhary, would like to carry forward from this third session of today's training program. As participants, our next speaker, Dr. Murli Yadav sir, has already joined. But before inviting sir, I would like to give a brief introduction of our next speaker, that is Dr. Murli Yadav sir. Sir did his PhD in horticulture from Allahabad Agriculture University, and currently sir is working as General Manager Crop Scientist in Deepak Fertilizer and Petrochemicals Limited, based at Pune. Sir has also worked as Zonal Technical and Market Development Head, Zone West 1st and 2nd in Nagarjuna Fertilizers and Chemical Limited for more than 1.5 years, based in Pune. During his tenure in the industry line, Sir developed a crop-specific and stage-specific customized WSF fertigation grade for grape, pomegranate, tomato, as well as many are under process for development for sugarcane, banana, melons, and chili. Sir served in Nagarjuna from August 2017 to September 28, and then before that, Sir worked for Tata Chemicals Private Limited from December 2011 to July 2017. There, Sir has marked various key achievements, such as Sir got the Best Market Development Award in Zone South and West. Sir also run a Sangam project for tracking all the promotional activities through application, and Maharashtra region was the only region who successfully ran this project. And Sir was also been awarded with a prize in Abhinav Mela in a consecutive 2 years, that is in 2014 and 2016. Sir has developed 56 model forest village in different territory of Maharashtra region. Before this, from December 2006 to December 2008, Sir has also worked as assistant professor in Allahabad Agriculture University, and there Sir has guided more than 10 MSc students with their thesis dissertation, along with a publication of more than 35 research papers in national international journals, and has also participated in various conferences. And Sir is also a life member of various Horticulture Society of India. And Sir is the permanent reviewer of one of the most reputed horticulture journal, that is Scientica Horticulture, and is life member of Indian Academy of Horticulture Sciences. Then Sir started his career in private organization and marked a various achievement, which I have told you. So it's our pleasure to having you, sir, on this online platform. Please, sir, please, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Piyush. Briefing about my careers and academic careers as well as professional careers. Of course, I have 20 years of experience either in the field of research as well as marketing. So I am having diverse experience in the field of agriculture, and I have worked on different area of agriculture. In R&D, either for the development of customized fertilizers for soil application, or you can talk about this customized water-soluble fertilizers for different crops, as you mentioned about grapes, tomato, pomegranate. Right now working on banana, melons, citrus, all other crops, wherever fertigation is in trend. So I am working on in that. For getting the more productivity and quality produce of farmers. So I will not take too much time. So I will start my presentation. Is this slide is visible?
Yes, sir. The slide is visible. Please. Yes, perfect.
Yeah. At first, I welcome all the participants in this training session. Actually, I will not call it training session. This will also I will call interactive sessions, because I will give option to all the participants for interaction after completion my presentation, because I will not give interaction in between the presentation, otherwise flow will deviate from the original part. So my topic, as I have already mentioned, organic agriculture. I was just listening, few participants were asking about this organic agriculture or this natural farming. Here I have written organic agriculture versus sustainable agriculture. So I will discuss about these two aspects. Either both are same, organic agriculture and sustainable agriculture is same, or little bit there is difference between agriculture, organic agriculture and sustainable agriculture, and in what scenario both will be same, and in what scenario there is difference between organic agriculture and sustainable agriculture. So if just so if first I will talk about this green revolution. Why green revolution has come? What was the need? What are the things which requires for green revolution successful? And what are the negative impact of green revolution? Then I will come on this organic agriculture or sustainable agriculture. If we'll talk about this green agriculture, or you can say green revolution, first effort what scientists did, they developed the high yielding varieties, because this is the key enablers. Because the objective of green revolution, how we can increase the productivity of crops. Only then we can make available the food to all our population. Because at that time when green revolution started, at that time there was problem of food security. So by keeping that in mind, scientists worked on, and they first decided what are the key enablers for the green revolution. So in that enablers, high yielding variety was the key in first key enablers, because we can't think without this high yielding variety. So scientists developed the high yielding variety, means variety should have potential in terms of yielding, in terms of yielding, in terms of production and quality. So they developed the high yielding varieties. Then it was fueled by synthetic chemicals, because if want to express their potential, yielding potential, you have to provide that some enablers. Some enablers means then fertilizer is one of nutrient management, you can say. Nutrient management is one of the important enablers to express the yielding potential of that variety. Then followed by second enablers, through the support of irrigation management, proper irrigation management, that potential of that variety will be expressed fully. So green revolution catalyzed by high yielding variety, fueled by synthetic chemicals, inputs supported by high irrigation. What it yielded after that? It yielded Indian agriculture from sustenance to surplus. Means, as I mentioned previously, there was problem of surplus food, or whatever food is required by the whole population, that was not there. So when this green revolution happened, then we were able to make available the food to all our population. Even then, we had surplus food. So the first objective was how we can transform ourselves from sustenance to surplus in terms of agriculture food production, so that we can ensure the food to all our population. So what was the negative in that, in green revolution? At what cost we did this green revolution? As I have written here, we had done this green revolution at the cost of natural resources, environment, and sustainability. How we means by due to overuse of this for expressing this yielding potential of variety, we use excess quantity of chemical fertilizer, because that was required for expressing their potential. So we disturb these natural resources, environment, and sustainability. In what sense we disturbed? In terms of we disturb the flora and fauna of the soil due to excess use of the chemical. We disturb the environment. How we disturb the environment? Because if you will use excess quantity of nitrogen, more greenhouse gas emission will happen. And if more greenhouse gas emission will happen, that will disturb the environment. Then second thing, sustainability. You know, if you use more quantity of chemicals, then soil health will be disturbed. If soil health will be disturbed, either physical, chemical, and biological sense, in that case, you will not able to get the sustainable production. So we did this green revolution at the cost of natural resources, environment, and sustainability. So we depleted the natural resources, especially the groundwater, non-renewable source, even for the production of high production or getting the more productivity, our cost of cultivation has gone up very drastically, and we reduce the rate of return. Means whatever we are putting the extra cost, that much of extra gain was not happening. So you can call this MCBR. We use technical term. We use MCBR, marginal cost benefit ratio, that we are not getting in that case. So as I discussed the positive and negative and why we did this green revolution. So if you see the impact of green revolution and use of this chemical fertilizer, you would be seeing here, we see the production of food grain production, 96 million to this 305 million tons we have achieved in 17-18. This is due to overuse of chemical fertilizers only. So of course we transform ourselves from sustenance to surplus, but I will also talk about what we lose in that case, why we should move towards this organic agriculture. I will discuss later on. So if we'll see, due to this green revolution, or for getting very high production, we are using our total nutrient consumption is 25.6 million tons, 25.6 million ton chemical fertilizer in terms of NPK. Out of that, 17 million tons of nitrogen we are consuming, and this nitrogen is the main culprit of greenhouse gas emission, or you can say climate change. This is the main culprit for climate change. This is the main culprit for global warming. So we are using this much of nitrogen for getting, as I mentioned, 305 million tons of food grain. So one side we are getting more food grain production, but second side we are disturbing all the ecosystem, as I mentioned in previous slide. So what is the, as I mentioned, key heavy application of nitrogen fertilizer has resulted in high level of nitrates in groundwater, leading to its pollution in the, especially in the states like Punjab, Maharashtra, and Karnataka, where more quantity of nitrogen is used. I will discuss all these things in detail. And as I mentioned, if we'll talk about the total greenhouse gas emission, the contribution of agriculture is 18%, and it is due to more use of nitrogen. And others reason is also there, because farmer used to do this straw burning, and some others are also there. So, and if you see the huge efficiency of the fertilizer, huge of efficiency of the nutrient, it is going down every year. So here you will see, if you talk about this nitrogen use efficiency, it is 30 to 50% only. It means whatever quantity we are using, 70 to 50%, 50 to 70% we are losing only. It is going waste only. There is no use of this. If you talk about phosphorus, only use efficiency is 20%. It means we are losing 80% of phosphorus, whatever quantity we are putting into the soil. If you talk about this potash, their use efficiency is 60%. It means we are losing 40% of total application. So this is creating problem in the soil ecology. This is creating problem in environmental ecology. So one side we are, of course, we are getting more food grain production, horticulture production in all the segment, but second side we are losing the sustainability. We are losing the sustainability. So now, what is the option then? So there is need of technology, that type of technology which can produce, which can give more productivity and meeting the today's requirement. Without, what is today's requirement? We need surplus food grain production. We need quality production. We need sustainable production. So that type of technology we need in current scenario. That should be resource conserving, environment friendly, and ensuring safe and healthy food with long-term sustainability. So in that case, organic agriculture is the option for getting all these things. But we should keep in mind that in current scenario, if we go for total organic agriculture, organic farming, can we get what the productivity which we are getting from this chemical fertilizer use? No, answer is no, because our ecology has totally disturbed. If we talk about soil health, it is totally disturbed. So soil will not support if we go for this 100% organic farming. So I will discuss later on in details. So organic, of course, organic farming is one of the option. By that we can get the sustainability, we can get the healthy foods. Of course, we can't get that much of productivity of the crop which we are getting now. So what first we have to understand, what is organic farming? Organic farming is a system which avoids or largely excludes the use of synthetic inputs. Synthetic inputs in the sense, either in the sense of fertilizer, or in terms of pesticide, in terms of hormones or feed additives. So organic farming covers all these things and majorly rely upon crop rotation, crop residue, animal manures, off-farm organic waste, mineral grades like rock phosphate and others, and biologicals, all these. So we have to shift from synthetic to all these enablers. Like crop rotation, we have to go for crop rotation. We have to use crop residue. We have to use animal manures. We have to use organic waste. We have to use the organic source of fertilizer, just like rock phosphate, feldspar. We have to use the biologicals like biofertilizers. So we have to depend on this. But when we will get the full benefit of this organic farming, when our soil system will support, and it will not support in one day. It will take 3-4 years minimum. Only then, when we will go for this organic agriculture, then we will get more productivity, more healthy foods, or you can say produce, and we will get the sustainable agriculture production. So as I mentioned in previous slide, organic farming includes all these things. Either you talk about vermicompost, you talk about green manuring, you talk about crop rotation, you talk about biological management, you talk about animal husbandry, you talk about biofertilizer, you talk about manures. So we have to use all these resources, all these enablers in organic farming for sustainable production of the agriculture. So organic agriculture is not new in India, as I am saying, and if you talk about, it is coming from organic agriculture is nothing but conventional agriculture, where chemical fertilizer is not used or minimally used. That is organic agriculture. But nowadays, technology has improved. Previously, we were not using too much biofertilizer. We were not using too many types of manures, not many types of biopesticide, biofungicide, like all these things. Technology has improved right now due to scientific intervention, but it is coming from long back. So, but see, there is vital opportunity in this area, and it is a emerging area. Organic farming is a emerging area, because it will fulfill all the requirements whatever needed today. But it will, of course, it will take time, because so many challenges are there in organic agriculture, or you can say organic farming. Because one side we will lose the productivity, so for getting more productivity we have to wait for that, and we have to continue this farming for 3-4 years. Only then we can match up our productivity, and then we can think about the sustainable agriculture without disturbing anything. So of course, as I said, and second thing, if we are losing our farmers are losing the productivity, in that case farmers should get the premium price of that product, but which farmers are not getting right now. But parallelly, if you see the awareness among the consumers about this organically produced food, either grain or horticulture produce, their awareness is growing day by day. Consumers are ready to pay more for organically produced products. And if you see, organic agriculture supports farming technology for a higher product. Of course, it supports the agriculture for higher productivity. But when it will support, when our soil system or soil health will be strengthened, and it will not be strengthened one day. It will take 3-4 years. And of course, then it will be sustainable agriculture. So now, as I mentioned in my first slide, either organic agriculture and sustainable agriculture is same in current scenario. In current scenario, it is not. Why it is not? Because if you go for complete 100% organic farming or organic agriculture, our productivity will go down because soil system will not support. So sustainable agriculture practices focus on bigger picture. Any technology that enables farmers to cultivate to improve their economic stability. Same thing I am saying. Economic stability means farmer will not get more productivity in initial 1, 2, 3 years, and you know ki farmers are not getting premium price of organically produced products. So in both, economic stability will be disturbed in current scenario. In case of, so sustainability of the farmers will disturb. If we talk about environmental friendly, of course, organic agriculture is environmental friendly because we will not use the agrochemicals, either fertilizers, either pesticide, we will not use. So that will not disturb the ecology, either ecology of the soil, means flora and fauna of the soils, or the environment. And in this, if you go for this organic agriculture, there will not be more greenhouse gas emission, because as I said, due to more use of nitrogen, more production of emission of greenhouse gas emission. If in case of organic agriculture, we will not, if we will not use this chemical nitrogen, in that case, greenhouse gas emission will not happen. So that benefit we will get it, means we will cut down the greenhouse gas emission. Cutting down wastage. There will be no wastage of this inputs, because as I said, in use efficiency, nutrient use efficiency is going down. Nutrient response ratio is going down. So we are wasting more. Of course, we are getting more productivity. Parallelly, we are wasting our more resources. And of course, as I said, in sustainable agriculture, ensure crop and soil health. So in sustainable agriculture, we can ensure all these things, which we are losing in case of this chemical agriculture. As I said, initial hiccups on its suitability and fears of low productivity. Major hiccups will be, we will lose the productivity in case of organic agriculture. If we talk about the soil health, pH is too high. If we talk about the organic carbon, it is too high. So if we'll talk about the physical, chemical, and biological status of the soil, it is too low, too poor. So it will not support the crop in an effective way. And if it will not support, so crop performance will be poor, and farmers will not get more productivity. So organic agriculture can yield the same when, as repeatedly I am saying, when it will support organic agriculture, when resource rich area, means where we have not used too much chemical fertilizers, too much agrochemicals, where soil has not disturbed too much, like northeast region, talk about Sikkim, where 100% organic agriculture is there, because in that area, in that state, we have not use heavily this agrochemicals. So their ecosystem has not disturbed. So this organic agriculture is feasible there. And government already declared this Sikkim as an organic state in 2016 only. Whole Sikkim is declared as a organic state in 2016 by our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. And there we are not losing the productivity of any crop, because their soil system is supporting to the crop through organic agriculture. So if we talk about the status of organic agriculture, what government is doing and what is the current scenario of organic agriculture, either there is scope of organic agriculture or not, that in this slide I will discuss. So if we talk about this, what are the initiatives taken by the government of India? See, for organic agriculture, National Program for Organic Production, launched in 2001, laid the foundation of systematic development of organic agriculture sector in the country. There was not organized system before that for organic agriculture, but Government of India in 2001 has launched National Program for Organic Production for systematic development of organic agriculture sector in India. What they did in 2004, they established first National Center for Organic Farming. This center is doing proper research on organic agriculture. They are standardizing the proper technology for organic agriculture. If you will not have proper technology for organic agriculture, you can't do in that segment, in that area. So this center, National Center for of Organic Farming, is doing proper systematic research or standardizing proper technology for organic farming or organic agriculture under the Ministry of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmer Welfare. And in that year itself, ICR is the administrative body of agriculture, that is Indian Council of Agriculture Research, has started organic network project on organic farming research. So these two initiatives Government of India has taken in 2004 to push the organic movement in the country. So government is doing or putting the effort in that area also, but not heavily. If they will push all the states heavily, so there will be crisis of food security. So slowly government is putting efforts. First, they are putting efforts where chemical fertilizer is not used too much. There they are putting more effort for making whole state as organic agriculture state. So area in that moment, what happened? Area restored under certification. They have developed the process for certification. Whosoever farmer is wanted to do this organic agriculture, or any farm or any groups wanted to go for organic agriculture, they have to go for this certification. And there is process for doing the organic agriculture. So if any farmer or any group will go by the organic agriculture, they have to follow that process. Only then the body will certify that farm for organic agriculture, or that produce it is organically produced, like PGS India, India Organics, Jaivik Bharat. These are the some of the certification agencies, certification body, they used to do this certification. So government has channelized this certification process. So starting in 2003-4, 42,000 hectares was under this NPOP certification, National Program for Organic Production. See, this much of area certified under organic agriculture, or you can say organic farming. Then later on in 2017-18, this area increased up to 28.6 lakh hectare. So this is the identified area. This is the certified area. This is not a, this is systematically, you can say, certified 28.6 lakh hectare under, and government has also given some of the responsibility to third party, because government can't do all the works. So this PGS India is one of the body, third party body, which satisfied the farm for organic farming. So this is participatory guarantee system certification. So in 2017-18, 28.6 lakh hectares comes under this organic certification. So if we talk about this area, increasing area, it is, as I mentioned, it has gone up to 28.6 lakh hectare. And if we talk about the status in different state, so 50% area is in Madhya Pradesh only. Then, of course, Sikkim is complete area of Sikkim is under organic agriculture, but that is very small state. So, but maximum area is in Madhya Pradesh, 50% of total area, 16% is under Maharashtra, and the remaining state like Rajasthan, Odisha, all these states are there. If we talk about this production, if we talk about this production of organic produce, 38% is of is a share of Madhya Pradesh and 35% of Maharashtra. So you see here, in terms of productivity, Maharashtra is having more productivity of organic agriculture in comparison to Madhya Pradesh, because you saw there if 50% area is there. In case of Maharashtra, 17% area is there. But if you talk with this production term, 35% share is of Maharashtra, 38% share is of this Madhya Pradesh. And there is very good scope in export also. And export is increasing day by day. Of course, in 1920, it has come down a little bit, but export is growing day by day. I will discuss in next slide. And if we talk about this crop wise, this organic agriculture, in sugar crops, maximum area is production is happening in sugar crops, then oilseed crops likewise. So day by day, the area, either production or either is this export, all things are happening. But export is double of this domestic consumption. I will discuss in next slide. So if you talk about this, but if you see the, as I mentioned, how day by day the growth of this organic agriculture or production or export is increasing. See, if you see this CAGR, it is 19%. It is growing year on year basis by 19%. If we talk about this total revenue is 8,500 crores. Out of that, 5,000 crores we are getting from export only. Only we are getting 3,500 crores from domestic consumption. So domestic sales or consumption, you can say. So total revenue is 8,500. Out of that, we are getting 5,000 crores from export. See how much opportunity is in export is there of organic agriculture. So key characteristic of organic agriculture. What is the main features of organic agriculture? So protecting the long-term fertility, as I mentioned, it will be organic agriculture will be sustainable agriculture. So fertility status will be maintained in case of organic agriculture. Fertility status means soil health, you can say. The productivity of the soil will be maintained, or it will be sustainable. Encouraging soil biological activity. It will not disturb the flora and fauna of the soil. See, whatever microbial population is there, their population will increase in the soil system. If their population will increase, their huge efficiency of nutrients will be more. In lower dose, output will be more. If your soil system will support, or is soil system will more strong, it means second, providing crop nutrients indirectly. This, in case of organic agriculture, whatever enablers I mentioned in previous slide, earlier slide, that is not the direct source of nutrients. That is indirect source of nutrients. Providing crop nutrients indirectly using relative insoluble nutrient sources which are made available to the plants by the action of soil microorganisms. That is activated, converted into the available form through the microorganisms, microbial population in the soil.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, we are having only limited time for all these sessions, and our next speaker has already joined.
Okay.
Can you conclude in 5 minutes, please?
Okay. So organic farming, these are the 4 principles on which organic agriculture works. So first on soil health, this crop care, ecology, then fairness. So principle of soil health, as I mentioned always, repeatedly I'm mentioning, if soil health will be maintained, animal health will be maintained, only then it will be sustainable. Otherwise, it will not be sustainable. I will speed up my So second principle is ecology. So in organic agriculture, this ecology is not disturbing. Is not disturbed. We are not disturbing any ecology. On the other side, we are strengthening our other ecology system, either soil ecology or environmental ecology. So principle of fairness means there's, in case of organic agriculture works on the principle of fairness, there should be not cheating at any point of time. If we are suppose we are producing any items, if through chemical fertilizer, and we are saying it is produced through organic agriculture, that should not be there. So principle of cares, at all levels there should be careness. We should have precaution. We should not disturb this ecosystem, or there should be concern on management, development, technology choices in agriculture. So basic step, there are 5 principles, or you can say steps in case of organic agriculture: conversion of land from conventional management to organic management, management of the entire surroundings to ensure biodiversity and sustainability of the system, crop production with the use of an alternative source of nutrients, as I mentioned, through crop rotation, residue management, organic manures, and biological inputs. So this again, same thing I was main advantage of organic farming in nutshell. I am saying, we can get the healthy foods without disturbing this soil health or environmental ecology. You can say, I, so on a sustainable manner. That is the major advantage of organic farming. So nutrient management, these are the major enabler sources, as I mentioned. There is animal manures, urine, farmyard manures, litter composting. Then if you talk about biofertilizer, azolla, azospirillum, azotobacter, rhizobium culture, PSP, different type of microbial consortia, mycorrhiza. Then other sources are blood meal, bone meal, excreta of humans. All these sources may be used in case of organic agriculture in place of this agrochemicals. So if you go by this data, how it is impacting to the yield improvement, of course, directly we can't go for organic agriculture, especially in this north and this west India, because we have used too much agrochemicals in that. So our soil health has disturbed completely. See here, when we have gone for this complete whatever recommended dose of fertilizer is there through this chemical fertilizer. In addition to that, if we have put this 15 ton of farmyard manure additionally, there is quantum jump of in yield. So you can see the impact of this organic manures. So same way, likewise, I have shown you here in different crops the impact of this biofertilizer. See, in case of this, where we have used only 50% of phosphorus, which we are giving through chemical fertilizer, if we will give 50% this phosphorus through rock phosphate, and remaining if we use 500 gram of PSB, 11.25 kg per hectare of this VAM, vesicular or vesicular mycorrhiza. So in that case, we will get more yield. So see the impact of biofertilizer in this case. So same way, likewise in different crops I have shown here the impact of either manures, either biofertilizers. So major constraint in India of this Indian agriculture is right now, soil organic carbon is depleting. So I'm directly coming on that point. See the organic carbon status. 67% Indian soil is deficient in organic carbon. If we'll talk about this major nutrients and micronutrients and secondary nutrient, there is very much deficiency in all across the states. You can see the first column that is coming under low. So our soil is deficient in terms of various nutrients. So in that case, due to this reason, I am saying direct organic agriculture is not viable. So slowly we have moved towards that by strengthening our soil system. So as I mentioned, we have our huge efficiency of this fertilizer is too low. And nutrient response ratio, initially when in 1960, when we were putting 1 kg of this nutrient NPK, we were getting 13.54 kg of grains. Now we are by putting this 1 kg of NPK, we are getting only 3.7 kg. See how much a difference has come up. It is due to poor soil health. So deteriorating soil health, we are not using this NPK, whatever recommendation is there. Farmers are not using. We are the proper recommendation is 4:2:1, but farmers are using 8:3:1 of NPK. So if you see in case of all these state, see here Rajasthan, they are using 44:16:1 NPK ratio. How it is imbalance? So what should be the medium term strategy? The use of optimal dose through this chemical fertilizer. This we have to go back this organic forms, either manures or biofertilizer. As I mentioned, we have to use proper quantity of micronutrients because most of the farmers are not putting micronutrients, so their deficiency is coming in the soils. And promotion of water soluble fertilizer, as you know, water soluble fertilizer use efficiency is much more in comparison to soil applied fertilizers. So if I will talk about my research, I am working in developing, as Dr. Piyush has mentioned, I am working on developing this customized water soluble formulation already developed for pomegranate, grapes, and tomato, other crops I'm working on. So we have kept in mind all these things, how we can increase the soil health, how we can increase the agronomic response, how we can increase the nutrient uptake, nutrient use efficiency, and how we can increase the climatic resilience. So if you see the result here, in this case, we have taken the trial internally also, we have validated through ICR Institute also. If you talk about this agronomic response in terms of productivity, validated through ICR Institute, 20% yield improvement over the the recommended dose of fertilizer by this university or institute. And we have saved, if you talk about how much we have saved this nitrogen, here you can see 62% saving in nitrogen in comparison to recommended dose of fertilizers. And we are not disturbing the soil health also. If you see the post-harvest soil status, there is increase in terms of pH, reduction in pH, and
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Okay, I'm concluding just two slides, within two slides. So same way in case of tomato, we have developed, we have increased the yield 23% with the saving of 67% nitrogen. Same in case of pomegranate, 62% we have saved the nitrogen by increasing 36% of yield. See, we have saved the nutrient, but we have increased the productivity of the crop. So we have not disturbed the soil, we have enriched the soil by increasing the productivity and by reducing the use of chemical fertilizers. So and we have made this very easy solution to the farmers. So you can see the photograph here, how it is different. See how it is different. See, when our soil will be enriched, only then it will go to the human health, and then human health will be human will be more healthy. See, through this concept we should work on. And organic agriculture, if we'll go by organic agriculture will do like this. So thank you all. Thank you for giving me opportunity to speak on organic agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for enlightening all our dear participants on such an interesting topic. And a few of our participants are having some questions, as we can see in the chat box. But as we are running short of time, and our next speaker and the host of the next session has already joined, so we will convey the questions and queries on your email, and then we can convey it to our dear participants. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on this online platform. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, participant, moving ahead, I would like to hand over towards the next session and would like to call Himani ma'am to please carry forward. Himani ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Muli, sir, and Dr. Piyush. So a warm good evening to everyone present over here. Myself, Himani Gautam, Vice President, Just Agriculture, the magazine, and it is indeed my great pleasure and foremost duty to welcome you all in this program. So now moving ahead, I would like to invite our next guest speaker, Dr. Junaid Khan. He's professor and head Department of Soil and Water Conservation Engineering from Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agriculture Sciences and Technology, Kashmir. So sir has been involved in the research and teaching from more than 23 years, and he is working as scientist at different levels and have been involved in various activities in the college. And sir has done BTech in agriculture engineering from J&K board, and master's program and PhD from Punjab Agriculture University. Sir has also qualified ASRB net in the discipline of land and water management. So currently sir is serving as professor and head of division of soil and water conservation engineering, and conducting all the administration, academic, research and extension activities of the division. So previously sir has also served as the head division of agricultural engineering and head College of Agriculture Engineering and Technology. So sir was instrumental in planning and executing 12 major in-house projects and 13 externally funded sponsored projects by ICR New Delhi, by Ministry of Water Resources, Government of India, and Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, as PI and co-PI of the projects, which ultimately led to commercialization of 12 technologies. And sir has got many awards and recognition like Best Teacher Award of the University, Best Team Award by Indian Society of Agricultural Engineering, New Delhi, Best AICRP Award Center for the year, and Best Paper Award in various national seminars. So sir has attracted external fundings of many external fundings as scientist and head of the division, and sir has published more than 80 research papers in national and international journals and proceeding. And he is also associated with the formulation of policy papers for water management in Kashmir and Ladakh region. And sir has guided 5 PhD and 19 MTech students. And in addition to this, he is the member of advisory committee of more than 30 students. Sir has authored 3 books, 4 practical manuals, and number of bulletins, and he is life member of many reputed societies like Indian Society of Agricultural Engineering. So, sir, this is quite visible from your CV that you are such an eminent personality, and we are so honored to have you on board. So,
thank you.
Now, without wasting much time, I would like to invite you to deliver your talk to our participants. So, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a great opportunity given to me to share my thoughts and ideas, and on such a platform with so many people participating in it. I'm highly grateful to the organizers for providing me with the opportunity. So I'm going to share the screen.
Yes.
You can see the presentation?
Yeah, sir, it's perfectly visible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So as the madam already, Himani madam told about my biodata, I'm Dr. Junaid Nazir Khan. I am working as professor and head in Division of Soil and Water Conservation Engineering. The topic I have selected today is protected cultivation for promoting precision and urban farming technology. See, I'm from Jammu and Kashmir, and it is slightly different from rest of the India in terms that we have a temperate climate in Kashmir, and also we have a jurisdiction of Ladakh area where we have a cold arid region. So this is this time you must be seeing that we are having minus temperature outside. It might be -1 degree or 2 degrees. And so you can see that the importance of protected cultivation, how important the protected cultivation is. So talking about, if you can see from the graph, it shows that agricultural season at different altitudes. And if you see that in the first, it is mentioned that if the altitude is about 1500 meters, that means Kashmir, like I'm at Srinagar this time, the altitude is about 1500 meters. And we have an agriculture season for just 8.5 months. So that means by this, if you take this analogy, we are wasting about, we don't have agriculture, we don't have any agriculture crops for the 3.5 months. And if you go slightly higher in altitude, if you go towards Ladakh or Kargil areas, you must have heard about it. And you can see that the agriculture, this duration in a year goes on decreasing. For 2670, it is just 7 months of agriculture season. And if you see 3000, like Ladakh, you must have heard Leh, we have agriculture season just for 5.5 months. And if you go even higher, like Neoma or some places like agriculture is just for 4 months. And if you go still more higher and say 4000 meters, the agriculture is just for 2.5 months. So in this context, so it is very important that we should have protected cultivation for growing crops. Because when we talk about protected cultivation, we are saying that we have to use all the months of the year for growing of the crops. And today I'm going to discuss on that aspect, how we are trying to see that we can grow crops throughout the year. What is the technology that is required? What we are doing in this direction? How we can achieve our objectives of growing crops throughout the year. So that is the main emphasis that we are laying in this. So what we are going to do in this. So one of the simplest things, you must have heard that when we talk about protected cultivation, automatically greenhouses come in your mind. Then also polyhouses come in your mind. Walk-in tunnels come in your mind. And supposing I'm just taking a simple example of polyhouse. So what is a polyhouse? When the covering material we use is polythene, we call it as a polyhouse. So earlier we used to have glass as the covering material, but then slightly we changed, because glass, as you know, it had its own disadvantages and advantages also, but we took it over to the polythene, and that's why we call it as a polyhouse. So inside a polyhouse, there are some parameters that we have to take care of. Like first of all is the construction we do of a polyhouse. And the first and foremost is that the strength of that polyhouse. When I say the strength of the polyhouse, that means it should withstand the wind velocity. It should withstand the temperature variations. It should withstand earthquake. It should withstand all the vagaries of nature, so that if there is something, some untoward happens, the structure is still there. So first of all, it's most important is the strength of the polyhouse. So under the context, as we are seeing that everybody is talking about the climate change, everywhere there is a question about climate change that I have seen many times. We get an example that farmer has a very good crop, but there is a hailstorm the next day, and his whole crop is damaged. So unless and until we don't come up with those solutions by which we can protect our crops from the natural climatic vagaries, then only we can be able to do things in the right direction. The second is in case of the protected cultivation, we talk about the solar radiation. Like I was saying that at our place, we are having climate during winters, we are having sub-zero temperatures. Even this time, if you see outside, there is minus temperature here. But in the summers, we have very extreme temperatures. The temperatures can go up to 35, 38 degrees centigrade. And in the winters, it can go in the minus. So we have to design our protected structures in such a way so that we can make maximum utilization of the solar radiations that are coming from outside. So see that we are able to conserve all the solar radiations, and also see that the radiations that increase the temperature inside the polyhouse or greenhouse or any structure, you can say that they do not go out of that structure, so that they can keep a temperature that is favorable for growing of the crops. Another is the temperature. As you know, that temperature plays a very important role. If you have, if you have 0 degree temperature or minus degree temperature, the plants, it is very fatal to the plants. The plants cannot grow under such climatic conditions. And even if we have very high temperatures, it's not also suitable for the plants to grow. Unnecessarily, the plants will be under stress when we have sub-zero temperatures, or even when we have very high temperatures. Then carbon dioxide, it also plays a very important role that we can manipulate inside our greenhouses. And humidity, when we talk about humidity, it's basically the relative humidity, the absolute humidity, what happens inside this greenhouse. Then the air movement, how much amount of the air is coming in, how much is going in, how much we have to stop to maintain. And another very important thing is the media. I have a very interesting story about the media that very recently, one of the research projects we did, that for saffron, we were able to grow in a saffron in a, we have also patented that information, and we might be getting patent for the media, just a media for growing of saffron. So talking about, if we talk about hydroponics or aeroponics or all these things, we talk about that is a new technology. But if you go into literature, we say it's not a very new technology. You must have heard about the hanging gardens of Babylon. Now there are reports that plants were grown hydroponically under these structures some 600 BC. So it has a very, these hydroponics, aeroponics, this kind of structures have a very old history that it has been taking place. Another example, in the 11th century, people used to grow in rafts, growing vegetables in water, making a raft like that. Even in our place, we have people growing vegetables in Dal Lake in the rafts. So this is a technology that has been utilized, and we are trying to modify on those lines. So you can see in this figure, this is the Emperor Tiberius. He was the Roman emperor, I think it was in the 1st century AD. It's a very interesting story associated with him. It is being said that some doctor, he was not feeling very well, and some doctor came to Emperor Tiberius and he told him that if you want to survive, if you want to live, you will have to grow, you will have to eat a cucumber, a fresh cucumber each and every day. And as you know that he was living in a temperate climate. Temperate climate means we have, as I had shown in my first slide, that we don't have crops for 4 months. So it was a challenge for him at that particular point of time. And what he did, he made a carts, put soil in that, and they used to take the carts outside during the day. And at the night, they used to take the carts and bring them inside again. So they tried many solutions for that problem, how to grow. Like they used to keep stones inside a covered structure, and those stones they could absorb a lot of heat from the sun, and during the nights they used to reflect that heat. So trying that, he was able to grow vegetables, cucumber rather. He was able to grow the cucumber throughout the year. So this is the advantage of the protected cultivation when we're talking in the current aspects, that when we are protecting our crops, although we have we have associated, we have to invest in this also. But talking about it, there is always we have an option that we can grow crops under such circumstances. You can see that here, that greenhouses which were made up of glass, they were also being used for growing of crops. This is an old picture showing how greenhouses were used for growing of crops throughout the season. So when I talk about the greenhouse, the basic principle inside the greenhouse is that the radiations coming from the sun. We have 2 kinds of radiations coming from the sun. Those of you are from the engineering background, they can understand it in a better manner, that we have short wave radiations coming from the sunlight and the long wave radiations. The short wave radiations have a capacity that they can penetrate inside the greenhouse. And as they penetrate inside the greenhouse, they are converted into long wave radiations. And these long wave radiations, they have not a lot of energy associated with them. They get stuck inside the greenhouse. As a result of this, the temperature inside the greenhouse increases by 5 to 10 degrees as compared to the outside conditions. So this is a very important and a simple phenomena and a principle by which we are trying to absorb the radiations that are coming from outside, and we are storing them inside the greenhouse and trying to see that that temperature we are going to use to make our crops comfortable. Because when we see that the ambient temperature outside, say it is 5 degrees, but if inside greenhouse we have an ambient temperature of 15 degrees. So that means we can, outside we are not able to grow crops, but inside we can easily grow crops under such conditions. As you can see, that there are many small things associated with this. We'll be discussing further in this presentation. So when we talk about these greenhouses, if we talk about the classification of these greenhouses, first is the shape of the structure. What kind of the shape we have taken. If you are growing a greenhouse in, say, Maharashtra, its design will be somewhat different. But if we are doing this same greenhouse in Kashmir, the design will be different, because we'll be having snow over here and we'll be having different wind velocities over here. So it depends upon what should be the shape of the structure. That's a very important thing that takes into account the design of the greenhouse. And another important thing is the material of the structure. What material we should use in the structure. There are different materials available, like whether we should use galvanized iron pipes, whether you should use mild steel pipes, whether you should use wood pipes, whether you should use plastic pipes. All these factors depend upon the budget availability you have, how much money you have, how much you can invest in these things. Then another important thing in the greenhouse is the cladding material. As I told you that earlier, we used to have glass as a greenhouse. And if you talk about the glass, it has the maximum transmissivity, that is maximum amount of radiations can go inside a greenhouse. But if you talk about, if you go on polythene or some other features, this what we call the reflection inside goes on decreasing. So there are different types of people are working on this. You can see this is ethylene trifluoroethylene greenhouses. They are also being practiced for growing of crops. They have very good the transmission properties. Radiations can go inside very easily. Then we have these polycarbonate panels. Then we have the acrylic panels. So different kinds of materials are available which can be used in these greenhouses for growing of the crops. So now a new technology is coming into. It is a Canadian company by the name of Cravo. I don't know, many of you must have heard about it. It talks about the retractable roof greenhouses. So under these retractable roof greenhouses, what is happening is that we can close the greenhouse and we can also open the greenhouse. So even the the sides of the greenhouse, when we talk about the sides, we can open the sides, we can close the sides. Even the roof we are talking about, we can close the roof, we can open the roof. And you can see here, this is a picture in Canada, and he has, this is when there is going to be a snowfall. We are just closing the greenhouses, like you can see in this figure, and they are very robust kind of structures. And you can see that here a man is sitting on this greenhouse and it is not breaking. And here you can see that the greenhouse, it is just like a rain shelter also, that you can open the greenhouse, you can close the greenhouse, you can open its sides, you can close its sides, so that depending upon our requirement, what is our temperature inside, because if we just keep on this closing the greenhouse, the temperature inside is going to increase during the summer months, especially when we talk about the subtropical regions or the tropical regions. But somewhere we have to, even in Delhi, the climate of the Delhi, we have to close the greenhouse during winter so that we can conserve the temperature inside these greenhouses. Now the shape of the greenhouse, like we have different shapes of the greenhouses. It is semi-elliptical, Gothic, asymmetric, single tunnel, concept type of a greenhouse, uneven span type of a greenhouse, ridge and furrow type of the greenhouse, depending upon the requirements we have. Like if we have a sloping kind of a structure, there we may need an uneven span type of a greenhouse. So on the one side, the span is less. On the sloping side, the span is more. So depending upon the requirements we have, we can come with different kinds of a greenhouse. Like this ridge and a furrow type of a greenhouse, we can have a kind of a, we can, so that the water moves in these greenhouses. So even if we talk about during summers, when the temperature becomes very high and we are using a polythene in a greenhouse, the temperature inside can go as high as 50 degrees centigrade. So that's not also good for crops. If low temperature is not good for crops, high temperature is also not good for crops. So under these circumstances, we will have to use a shade net, which has a shading percentage of 50% or 25% or 75%, or using these thermal screens by which the radiations coming inside, they don't increase the temperature inside the greenhouse, they just reflect it back. So under our circumstances, we have to take care of both. When we're talking about greenhouses, you have to take care that during summers, we don't allow the temperature to go beyond 35 degrees centigrade. And during winters, we don't have to allow the temperature to go below 15 degrees centigrade. And humanly, it is not possible unless and until we don't use some, like you can see that unless and until we don't use heaters inside the greenhouse, the temperature is going to get less inside the greenhouse, because it is a common phenomena that heat always flows from the higher potential to the lower potential. If the inside temperature, we may have 15 degrees, but outside temperature, we have just 0 degrees centigrade. So the heat will try to move from 15 degrees centigrade to 0 degree centigrade until it reaches an equilibrium kind of a thing, and it reaches there. So we have to think in those terms. We have to think thermodynamically, that how we can put heating systems inside the greenhouse, how to increase the heaters inside the greenhouse. Now, if you see outside that we circulate the steam inside the greenhouses to increase the temperature, or we just circulate the hot water inside the greenhouse, or just simply we use the heaters and blowers so that we can increase the heat inside the greenhouse. But all these things come with a cost. If we have to do these kinds of things, these things have to be, a cost is involved in this, and you have to put cost in for incurring all these expenditures. So this is a protected apple cultivation, and you can see that if you are, this is a picture from Germany, where they are growing apples under protected cultivation. Because I have personal experience, I have seen many times farmers are having such a good yield, but suddenly something happens, something unnatural happens. One day we are having 15 degrees centigrade, and on the second day, the temperature goes as low as 5 degrees centigrade, and your whole crop gets damaged. So coming up with these protected solutions so that we can come up with, we can save our crop. Even using simple hail nets, we can save our crop from the hailstorm. Or maybe untimely, like we are having climate change effects, we are having untimely rainfall sometimes, snowfall sometimes. So coming up with these solutions. So this is again a picture that inside a greenhouse hydroponically, how you can grow for lettuce and other crops, and how you can use this for growing of different crops. I just, last month I had been to USA, and I was there for 3-4 months, and I went there. Their new concept is coming there. It is called as concept of plant factories. So they are not doing that. We are going to cultivate a huge area horizontally, but go in a vertical way of growing crops. Now you can see here the concept of plant factory. They have put that it should have an area of 2,000 square meters, and the output is greater than 500 metric tons, and vertical levels are 5 in this. And this is a plant in Orlando, Florida, and we had been to that plant. Initially, they are trying for the green leafy vegetables, and subsequently they will go for other crops also, like tomato and other crops. And plus, when you are growing under such controlled climatic conditions, means everything you are maintaining, the temperature you are maintaining there, you are maintaining the radiations that the plant need. Supposing under this particular, this you can see this facility, they are giving light to the plants for 16 hours and giving a sleeping period of just 8 hours. And you won't believe me that this crop gets, it is ready in about 35-38 days. You can get the crop of lettuce ready, and you can see how much crops we can grow in a year, and how much land will be saving in this. Although there are costs involved in it, no doubt about that, you have to put so much investment in it, but still this is an option available to us in the future. We have, and I was just a few. I saw a student, a PhD student working in University of Florida, and he was working how to grow crops in Mars. Another student, he was working how to grow crops in space. Another student, he was working on how to grow crops on moon. And you would believe me, a PhD student getting a grant of 30 crore rupees for doing his research. So you can see how much investments people are putting when they really find that we have such kind of a research issue that we are going to invest in that. And big government firms like NASA are investing money in these research projects and coming up with out-of-box solutions for agriculture. So again, you can see here, like I was telling you, that in our place also we have rafts where we are growing vegetables on the water in Dal Lake and other lakes we have. And also this is a cravo greenhouse. You can see the sides are lifted, the roof we can lift it, we can close it. So all kinds of possibilities are there by which we can grow crops and under controlled environment conditions. So you can, this is a picture from Germany. You can see that crops are growing under polyhouse conditions, and this is apricot trees, and means you don't have to rely on the nature that it is going to fail, the crop is going to fail, but we can, with our simple interventions, we can do things differently. Like you can see here, strawberry being grown inside a greenhouse. So this is one of my PhD students. I told you she is working on urban saffron growing system. So you can see that a machine has been developed. It is a vertical kind of a machine. We have submitted a patent for this also. And how to grow saffron anywhere in India, anywhere in the world. So this is a technology basically associated with this machine, how we can grow saffron everywhere, like a hobby kind of a thing, because we cannot make it a very big structure. We have like in this, we have just 2 trays. We can grow a saffron if somebody wants to grow a saffron on a small scale, because if you talk about the cycle of a saffron, it needs 100 chilling days. 100 chilling days means temperature should be less than 5 degrees for almost 100 days. So that kind of interventions we are trying, and maybe people, if this kind of innovation picks up, maybe somebody in Tamil Nadu, Chennai is growing saffron there also by using this kind of a technology. So this is a kind of a project we had. This was a project between National Horticulture Board. We had to construct greenhouses in Tajikistan. So under Tajikistan, they have a similar kind of climate that we have in Ladakh area of our region. So we had some standard greenhouses. Like if you talk about this greenhouses, this is a brick kind of a greenhouse. We have 3 layers in this, 1 brick layer, then we have a husk in between, then another brick layer we have, and growing this crops under -degree temperature. And we have successfully demonstrated this kind of technology in Ladakh, and we were trying to take it to the foreign soils also, because when we do something in a good manner, then only we will be able to, because the whole world is a market for us. But the question is that what we have to do it in a perfect manner and see that this kind of interventions go in the world market. So again, this is a very important thing. As I was telling you that I saw in Orlando just last month, the greenhouse facility, everything is dependent on now IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So all those things have to be brought into agriculture. That's a very important thing we have to do. We have to operate our systems. We have to make use of our mobile phones, IoTs, and we have, because many of people, we are from agriculture background, we may not be having so much knowledge about the things, but we have to put investment in this. We have to invest in people who have knowledge in this sector, so that we can integrate all these things together and ultimately come up with those out-of-box solutions that we need. So again, these are some of the pictures we are doing at our place, growing under soilless cultivation, growing tomatoes and other crops under soilless cultivation, under protected cultivation. Now this is growing of lettuce under small systems, not very costly systems, because we should have a range. If you want to go for hydroponics or things like that, we should have a lot of options available for us. So you can see this is a deep water culture system, nutrient film technique, and the conventional system. So how much variation there is under different, when we use hydroponic system, when we use the natural system, and how much advantages we have in these kind of systems. So if you, we did a small experiment at our place on lettuce crop, and if you see that under conventional system, it took 82 days for growing of a crop. But if you use the deep water culture system, it just took 62 days. And if you take the nutrient film technique, it takes 71 days. So just by using simple kind of intervention, I think the whole structure just costs us about 10,000 rupees. We can save 20 days. We can have earliness of a crop of about 20 days. And this is just not for leafy crops, this is for other crops also. We can get an advantage of having earliness in our crop, or we can see that the crops grow in a longer duration. That can also be done. And if you see the yield per plant, if you take in the deep water culture, it was 0.2684 kg per plant, and under conventional it was 0.2055. So that kind of advantages also we have. And when we talk about greenhouses, not only high things we have to talk about, there are some small things. Like in our case, we have to see, if you see in this figure during winters, the sun is slightly down on the horizon. But if you see in the summers, it is up in the horizon. On the basis of these things, we can talk about how to design our structures. These are very small things, but they play a very prominent role in the design of a protected structures, because they tend to reduce the cost and also reduce the energy requirements in our structures. And also we have to see what is the angle of the radiations that is coming, how much area it's going to cover up, and all those things have to be taken into account. And also what is the angle of that coming, like if we talk about this solar collectors, if you see in the winter, it should have a different angle so that the radiations go inside that greenhouse at a 90 degrees angle, because when they penetrate the thing in with a 90 degrees angle, then only the maximum radiations will be transmitting inside your greenhouse. Or for that, any solar panel we are talking about, unless and until we don't penetrate it at a 90 degrees angle, its efficiency is going to get reduced considerably. And
excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, as we have another meeting, like another training program after from 7:15. So if we can conclude it fast, then it will be better for all of us.
Okay, I will be concluding 5 minutes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So also orientation will play a very important role in this. So what will be the orientation, whether it should be in the east-west direction or it will be the north-south direction. So that's also very important in the designing of the greenhouses. So you can see here, this is a naturally ventilated greenhouse. So number of structures of this greenhouse we have constructed over the years at our place. This is the concept shape of a greenhouse. And for the design, that the diagonal should be equal, and there are some design parameters. What should be the material we will be taking? What should be the dimensions of that material we are taking? And what should be the height of that structure? How we can increase the height? So all these are the design parameters for any greenhouse. And the material that we need, supposing we have 15x4x3 meter greenhouse. So what is the material that is required for that, and how much labor and other things we need in this? And also maintenance of a greenhouse, very important that we clean the greenhouse and see that it grows in a proper way. And these are some of the results we have on for around the year vegetable production at our place. And you can see here, this is the walnut trees. When we grow walnut, roots outside a greenhouse, we get a success rate of just 30%. But when we go the same under a simple greenhouse, we get a success rate of 80-85%. So by just a simple intervention, putting little bit of money, we can save about 50% of our seedlings that can be used for as walnut trees in future. And also using the heat exchangers, we can try to increase the temperature inside the greenhouse. This is used for the Ladakh area of our place. And this is a second school in this is in Leh area, where they don't use any heating source. They make use of the structure is like that. They conserve all the energy and make use of it in the best possible manner. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was indeed a very wonderful session. You have completed all the aspects of protected cultivation. Even from you have shown us the examples from abroad also. So we have one question from the participants, and the question is that, like you have shown, जो आपने दिखाया protected cultivation में जो apple grow कर रहा था.
Yes.
Sir, I think ma'am is disconnected.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am is connecting. Just wait.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sir. Sorry, I just lost the connection. The question was that जैसे आपने दिखाया था protected cultivation में हम apple grow कर रहे थे in the other countries. So it's going on India also.
India, we are not going on that large scale because nowadays we are growing apple in that's known as a high density apple plantation. It's not a very tall tree like we used to have traditionally. We used to have very tall trees. It has a maximum height of say 8 feet, like that. And we are using say hail nets for that structures, and we are also having a trellis system. We are not fully protecting it. You can say that we are half protecting it. By 50% we are protecting it. We are not fully protecting it, but it is that under normal conditions, we used to have 20 tons per hectare of yield. But when we grow the same in a protected structure, we are getting yields as high as 70 to 80 tons per hectare under high density plantation. So that is the impact that a technology can have when we can do some things in it.
So if we go for protected, then we can increase the yield more.
Yes, yes, because the traditional system, we were having conventional trees. They used to be big trees. They used to go as high as 20 feet, and they used to cover a lot of area. But that thing is a thing of past now. Now people are talking about high density plantation. Like in 1 hectare, we can have about 3,333 trees, and they are very near to each other. And this can be mechanized. Then we can put a protected structure on it, because like I said earlier also, like we are having a hailstorm, we may be having, or we may be having some other temperature fluctuation, which is not good for the apple tree. So that kind of a protected climate we can have for that, and we can grow these crops. It is being practiced in Germany and other countries, but here we are not fully, we are trying, but so far we have not done it fully.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, right now I can see only these questions in the chat box. So in case we get any other question, we'll convey them to you by mail and get answers from you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for joining this session. It was indeed a very insightful session for all of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So participants, now we'll have a break of 5 minutes and then we'll join again, and the link will be sent in your respective WhatsApp groups. So thank you all, and we'll join again.